Hi, my name's Paul Grogan, and in this video I'm going to be doing a two-player playthrough of Midhalla. I'm joined by designer Iker, and he's going to be teaching me how to play the game, and we're going to be playing through a full chapter of the game. We're going to be playing through chapter 3 today, so there are going to be some story spoilers for the game, but in it, as I say, I'm going into the game pretty much raw. I don't know very much about the game, and the designer is going to teach me how to play, and we're going to be playing through a full chapter. I've created this video to help you make a decision about whether it's the kind of game that you want to back. And if it helps you make a decision, please let me know. Leave me a comment in the description. And as usual, give the video a thumbs up. And if you want to support me directly, you can do so at patreon.com/gaming rules. Okay, let's head on over. Let's join the designer and let's learn how to play. So I'm joined today by Iker, the designer of Midhalla. Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon, and give us a brief introduction to your game.
Yeah, hi. So we'll be looking at Midhalla. Midhalla is a cooperative dungeon crawler with some tower defense elements. What makes it pretty special is that the combat in the game is completely deterministic, so there will be no randomizing elements once we start the combat phase, and it will all be just down to us having good planning. The game itself is played in a Viking fantasy setting, so there's it's similar to Vikings but with its own gods, its own demons and everything, and we'll be jumping in as characters from the village Midhalla. So Midhalla was founded hundreds and hundreds of years ago to actually defend dungeons which are connected to the underworld from which the demons emerged a long time ago. And for a long time, nothing has happened there. So we have been keeping watch and nothing has happened. And now we are a new generation of warriors or other characters from the village. And well, something is happening now within these dungeons, and we're kind of going there to find out what's been going on and checking are these seals that have been placed on the dungeons to keep the demons in and keep everything silent if they're still intact and if everything's still working. And as part of that, we are fighting off demons that are trying to escape these dungeons or trying to break through this barrier and wreak havoc across the world of the living.
Cool. So this game is for 1 to 4 players, is that right?
1 to 4 or 1 to 5 with the FinRare expansion. So
okay.
there's an expansion which allows for 5.
And
well.
If you're playing it one player, can you just play with one character, or do you need to control multiple characters?
I would highly suggest to play 2. There will likely be a variant added to that because based on some feedback that I got, that will allow for like 2 solo if you really want to go with one character as well.
Okay, now what we're playing today is we're going to be playing chapter 3. So there's a couple of things that we need to talk about before we start. Yeah. First of all, I don't know anything about this game other than what Iker has told me in the last hour as we've been setting up. So I'm going into this fairly cold. Iker is going to be teaching me how to play the game, and we're going to be playing through a 2-player game today. So don't expect me to know all the rules of the game, and expect me to be asking questions along the way. And we're going to be playing chapter 3. So there are going to be some story spoilers today for chapter 3. But we're not going to read the prologue of chapter 3, to avoid a bit of spoilers, but also the prologue of chapter 3 builds on what's happened in chapters 1 and 2. Which I don't know what happened, and people watching this video probably don't know what's happened either. Now, am I right in thinking then that you choose your characters and you play through the campaign? How many chapters are there in total?
So the core campaign will probably be 10 chapters, and then there will be a handful of optional chapters that you don't need to play. Okay. And then same thing for the expansion, you will have a separate saga, which is around about 5 chapters as well. Right.
Okay. And do you take the same characters all the way through, or do you get new characters, or how does it work? Like, is there death in the game, for example?
So your characters normally, like if your characters die during a chapter, they're not dead as per se. So you can continue playing them. You will just replay the chapter at some point if you fail at the chapter. Yep. You are also allowed to switch characters between chapters. So like the whole campaign is designed to be drop in, drop out. So if you were playing with 2 players and then a friend would join you, you would all be playing on the same power level and everything. So it's relatively flexible around that, and it's even intended to do that, to switch characters, because it allows for different tactics that you can play and like different play styles and variation. Okay.
And there is character progression then during the campaign. Your characters can like level up and gain new items and new skills.
Yes, but it's like kind of the character progression is like kind of reset between different chapters. So you will always be playing different builds, like different play styles a little bit during each of the chapters. So it's kind of a bit like a, let's say, rogue-like element. You unlock new things that you can use
Right. Okay.
in chapters and be going on, but you will be re-leveling your character and replaying it. For two reasons. The one thing is to allow for a drop-in, drop-out campaign where friends can join you and you are not starting out as super powerful and they can just watch you kill enemies and do nothing, but they're just on the same power level. And the other thing is that because the combat system is deterministic, like balancing is super important in this game. So having skewing that balancing would be like really bad for the gameplay, because it's intended to be a challenging game all the way through. And so that was one of the other things that I considered.
Got it. Right. Now, today's playthrough is going to be quite long because we are going to be playing through the entire of Chapter 3 today. But how long do you think this is going to take us? I think you said probably about 2.5 hours, maybe 3 hours?
Yeah, probably around that. Since we are also learning the rules in parallel, it may be slightly longer. But usually we would play like 2.5 hours on this chapter. But again, it may vary depending on also discussions and everything.
And also, Iker is not going to teach me the entire rules of the game before we start. We're going to jump in. We're going to start playing as soon as possible, and he'll be explaining the rules as we go along. But first of all, let's just go through what we've got set up here. Which is what we've done prior to this video happening. So just talk us through what we've got in front of us.
So at the top of the screen, we can see the most important part, which is the dungeon board. That's the one with the D20 on it as well. So the D20 is also one of the key elements of the game because, as I mentioned, these dungeons have been sealed, and this is actually the seal or the gate. Hit points that we see there, so that's 20. If that seal ever is destroyed, the enemies can go out into the world and kill other people. So at that point, we will have lost the game. So we definitely need to protect that. We also see the resource tracker there on the left side of the dungeon board, which is where we keep resources, runestones, and silver. We will talk about where we use them later on. On the right side, you can see Dara's card. So Dara is the merchant, which is on the right side of the board. And there's also like some items placed there. And in the middle, you can also see a time tracker. So there's different chapters. This one is a timed chapter, which means that as we explore the dungeon, things will happen based on timing. On the left side,
something's going to happen. Is that like round one? Something's going to happen?
Yeah, after the first exploration, that something's going to happen for example.
And also after the third, and also after the seventh. And are we timed for this chapter? Is there a time limit? Is like 7 the maximum time?
We don't really know what's going to happen there.
Okay.
We'll just see as we go.
Right. Okay, so that's the dungeon board, and it starts off with these 3 tiles. These are, and this is for the start of every game. Every dungeon will start with these 3 tiles. Is that right?
Exactly. And also on the left side, you can see the exclamation mark, which is the area where we have the quest board. So if there's like, you can see a token in there right now, the number 1, which is the story marker or story token. And later we may be adding, for example, side quests to that area if we have these or if we encounter one.
Right.
But yeah, and then at the bottom, these 3 map tiles, they are like you can see they are in this blue color, and they also have the icon on the top left, which is like they're fortified. I will explain what that does later on as well.
Okay.
And the one in the middle, which is really important, which is the gate map tile. So that's the one where like this is the map tile that also contains, so to speak, the seal to the outside world.
Right. Okay. Now, do we start off on one of these 3?
Actually, we will be needing our miniatures later on during combat only, but we can place our miniatures there for now, so we have them on the board already.
Yeah.
We don't necessarily need to move them around during exploration. We will only because our position will be important only once the enemies turn up.
Right. Okay. Excellent. Now we've got some extra map tiles here. These were placed based on the scenario that we're playing. So because we're playing Chapter 3 today, it tells us how to create the map. And there are various map tiles. It also tells us that we need to place a +1 spawn token on tile 1A, which we've done here. It also tells us which enemies we're going to be facing in this game. So in this game, we're going to be facing enemies 1 to 8, number 10, number 14, number 15, number 16. So I've been through the enemy deck before we started, taken out those numbers, put them here, and they've been shuffled. So they're the enemies we're going to be fighting. And also for this scenario, we need elite enemy number 2. Which is this one here. So there's only 1 elite enemy for this particular scenario, which is there. It's told us about the timed, the time scenario and the things that are going to happen. And our objectives is we need to find Karasan the Great Seer and to defend the gate. Again, we've missed out the prologue, which is all of the narrative that we would normally read, but that is basically our objective.
Yeah, maybe just to give like a very brief summary. So as I mentioned, we are still like kind of relatively inexperienced Viking warriors or characters from the village. We've only been through 2 chapters, and like one of the things that happened before is that the main character, he had some dark visions about what could potentially happen in the future, and so now we've gone to this place here and tried to understand what's behind those visions. And finding Karasan the Seer is kind of our main objective, because we want to. He should help us understand our visions and what's behind them. Right.
Okay. Now the 2 characters that we've chosen to play, I've gone with Harkon the Drenga. So this is my character. Now the dice. For those people who are scared of rolling dice, the dice are not going to be rolled in this game. This represents how many hit points I've got, and I start with 6. Just explain to me what we've got here. These look like skills, things that I can do.
Yes, so if we look at these 2 rows at the bottom, these are called skill rows, and so you have different skills. So each of these squares is one skill that we will be using later during combat. And at the top, you can see these 2 squares, which are top right. Those ones, those ones are our ultimates or ultimate abilities, which are kind of powerful one-time effects that we can later use during combat. And then, well, the hit point die, and that's pretty much it.
And I've also got this Amulet of Ferocity, which is an item that presumably we've picked up in an earlier chapter.
Exactly. So we've taken that off Wolf Clan, Shaman, Demon thingy, and now we can walk around with that. Yeah.
Okay. Now, this was an extra skill that we acquired during setup. So this is what you were mentioning earlier on. At the start of each game, you will sort of, level up your character a little bit, and that'll be different every game. So we drew 4 of these, and then between us, we chose 1 each. So I've gone with this, which fits in there like that. And your character, let's just zoom over to your character. You're playing Enik the Herbalist, who only has 5 hit points, but you've got a different set of skills, and the one you've chosen to go with for this one is Fix It, which is going to allow you to repair some of the traps that we're going to be putting out.
Exactly.
Okay, right, so there's the 2 characters that we've got. Now the game comes with an overview card. It's a double-sided card. It's got an overview on one side of the setup, the different phases, and on the other side is a handy list of keywords, which is always useful in a game when you've got lots of keywords. So this is going to show us what they do. So the setup says that we've gained 6 silver and 5 runestones, which you saw on the resource board. We've got the 5 trap components, so we shuffled the trap cards and we've got 5 trap components. We've added 2 items to the merchant cart in addition to the 4 that were already there. We've leveled up, so we've gained our level 1 skills. And the gaining the unlock and unique items, I guess that's based on what previous chapters we've done.
Exactly, that was the Amulet of Ferocity that you have.
Got it. So we've got these 4 phases then: exploration, preparation, combat, and rewards. Are we going to now jump in and start with the exploration phase?
Yes, just maybe one thing to just quickly give one more thing about the phases. So we will be going through each of these phases, and then we will do the same thing again 2 more times. So there will be 3 of these cycles, so to say, before we finish a chapter. And we'll be jumping right in with the exploration probably right now.
Okay.
So during exploration, the main thing that we do is explore. We encounter events, and we look at the storybook or the campaign book, and we will be placing new map tiles, so the dungeon will get larger as part of that. So for now, the main thing that we do, you can also see that on the overview card, is the first thing we do is we choose an unexplored path that we want to explore.
Yes.
Unexplored paths are the letters on map tiles which are not connected to other map tiles.
Right. So here.
Right now, we have that one. We have
here.
And one on the top left as well.
Here, yes, we got one there as well.
So we have these 3 options, and right now we don't yet have any hints as to where we may be finding the seer in this dungeon. So right now it's pretty much open where we want to go, and I would just leave that to you because I've played I already know where we.
You've played this, yeah. So I think I'm going to go here, because if we go here, we're going to have to move your character board. So based on that, I'm going to say we go here.
Okay, so I currently I can't see the letter on my screen.
It's
that well.
B, letter B.
B. Okay, so we know now. You look at the campaign book.
Yeah.
You take out the campaign book for that chapter, and you look at the paths section of the campaign book, which should be on page 29.
B.
And then you look under B exactly.
So we have some narrative.
Yes.
So it says the tunnels here are carved from the stone, and some of the work is very intricate. It must have taken a long time to build them. Sadly, now is not the time to ponder on the craftsmanship of these stoneworkers. So we're going to place map tile 5A. So that's fixed. So if you play this game again, it is still the same map tile. And you always place the tile so that 5A comes off the direction that you went in. So that's going to go on there. But it then says that we need to draw a tier 1 event. So that is going to be different because we have the tier 1 events over here. And these were shuffled at the start, but I'm going to shuffle them again because I like shuffling cards. And we're going to draw a tier 1 event. So we just turn this over and read it. Okay. There are remains of a trap strewn about. Some of these are still usable. Keep this card. You may spend it instead of a runestone and a trap component when upgrading a trap, or you may spend it when restoring a trap instead of 3 silver. Right. So we found, the remains of a trap. It's not monsters. That's a good start. Okay.
Perfect. So that's good for us. Now, as the third step, because we are playing a timed chapter, we now need to move our time tracker token.
Move time tracker token, but only if it's a timed exploration, which it is. Okay.
Yes.
So the time tracker moves on to space 1, and we have a timed event on space 1.
Yes.
Does that mean we resolve that now?
Yes. So we go back to the campaign book and look under the section for timed events.
Timed event token 1. Read verse 107. Okay, so we have various verses in this book. I'm going to read 107. Okay. You hear snarls, kobold screams, and fighting noises from the western tunnels of the cave. It seems as if there is a fight going on. You need to hurry. So it says, all but one hero must exhaust one skill. So, tell us about exhausting skills.
Yes, so for exhausting skills, we will be needing one of the cardboard tokens, which looks like this.
Yep, got it.
And we can now decide which hero wants to exhaust one skill. We will be placing this on one of our skills, and that skill can't be used in the next combat phase.
Right.
So that is actually an interesting decision to make, because right now we can zoom in on the character boards right now, because I didn't yet explain like how the combat works. I would just be placing it. Maybe I would just kind of define that for now, and we can do it differently. Maybe we want to place that on. Let's place it on cleave, maybe for now, which so it kind of blocks the cleave action, because you have 2 other attacks on the bottom. So hopefully we will still be fine with that.
And that's it, because it says all but one hero must exhaust one skill. So, so in our game, that's just one of us needs to exhaust one skill.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Right. That's that, and we can continue with exploration now, because we will be continuing with exploration until something triggers us to go into the next phase.
Right. Okay. So it's not that we do phase 1 and then we do phase 2. It's we've done phase 1, and it says repeat steps 1.1 to 1.3 until the story triggers phase 2.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So even though that timed event has happened, and there is the sounds of fighting going on, we still now carry on and just do the exploration. Okay.
Yes.
Well, it did say there's a fight going on in the western tunnels that we need to hurry and get to. So assuming that that is north, east, south, and west, I'm going to suggest we go here next, which is the way you said okay means that this might not be the right choice, but that's what we're going to do. So this is L. We are placing map tile 3. So map tile 3 goes on here. Like that. And we read verse 104. Right, 104. In the centre of this room, you find a circle of carefully arranged runestones bursting with runic energy. A body of a dead kobold in leather armour holding a rusty sword is lying in one corner. Its face is contorted in pain, and you see lines of blood trailing out of its eyes. You almost feel sorry for the demonic creature. So we gain 3 runestones So I'm going to guess that means we just advance this to 8.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Do you want to search the corpse? If yes, decide who searches the corpse and read verse 111. Well, because you already know what's going to happen, I'm going to say I'm going to search the corpse.
You can also ask me to search the corpse. I would leave that to you. You don't have to search it yourself.
No, it's fine. That's fine. Yeah,
all right.
I'm going to search the corpse.
Okay.
You kneel to search the kobold's belongings for valuables. In its belt, you find a crude whetstone. Just as you take it into your hand, the kobold's body suddenly spasms and spits blood all over you before it falls back to the ground lifelessly. You try to clean the blood off, but it takes some time to get out. Gain the whetstone common item, and the hero that searched the kobold must start the next combat phase on the gate map tile. Right, so common items. We need the whetstone, which is up here.
Yes.
Okay, so I've got that. Now, you mentioned to me earlier on when we start that these items are one use only. So
exactly.
I have a whetstone which for once only gives me the pierce ability. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but in the next battle, I start off here.
Yes. And we also need to move the time tracker now.
We need to move the time tracker on. Okay, and then we carry on exploring. So
exactly.
Now, on the bottom of this tile here, there is a less than sign. Or is that a letter?
That should be a letter. That should be the C, I think.
Oh, it's a C. It's just me. I thought that's a less than sign. No, you're right. It's a C. Okay. Well, let's go that way. Let's go. Let's see where that goes. So letter C. C says, read verse 113. So not placing a tile, just reading 113. Okay. The walls in this part of the dungeon are adorned with torches flickering brightly. Ahead, you hear the sound of fighting, and as you round the next corner, you see an old man in dark robes, but without any weapons, breathing heavily. 2 kobolds with menacing daggers are about to attack him from both sides. Without any further thought, you draw your axe and throw it at one of the little creatures. It is a perfect throw, and the blade cuts sharply into the kobold's skull. Before the body even hits the floor, Tora jumps forward and makes quick work of the other attacker. You have found Karasun. Well, there we go. Thanks very much for the playthrough. We're all done. Is that all right? Not quite, I suspect.
Yeah.
Okay. But we found him. So, gain 1 runestone. Right, now place map tile 15A. Okay, so 15A is going to go here. It's just about on camera. It's as if we'd set it up just like it.
That one
right,
should
if
be
you... Yeah, it says, if you have not yet triggered E2, which I don't think we have,
we don't
then read verse 105. So there's various options depending on where we've got to in the particular story. So 105. Okay. With the immediate danger gone, you take a moment to look at Karasun. He seems exhausted, yet unharmed. His clothes are adorned with symbols, talismans, and jewellery. The straight posture alongside his grey hair and beard gives him an aura of authority and wisdom. But what draws you in most are his eyes. One is milky white, staring blankly ahead, while the other one is scarred and looks permanently closed. You have heard tales of the seers, but this is your first time seeing one up close. When Karasun speaks, his voice is a deep, calm baritone that echoes through the caves. Warriors, I have seen your arrival. You are walking the path of, I'm going to mispronounce this, Bjornjarl?
Yeah.
There you go. Bjornjarl, the great god of battle. You came to seek my help, but it is I who must ask for your favour first. This cave has been my sanctuary for many years. It is both a place where the runes hold ancient wisdom, as well as a crypt for those who have been chosen by Oster, but whose journey has already ended. These last days I have felt a dark energy within these tunnels. I went to investigate, but then these creatures started appearing. Dark forces are being summoned, and I urge you to put a stop to it quickly. Alone I am no match for these demons, but I can help you guard the magic barrier that is keeping the darkness within this dungeon. Aye, Tora nods to Karasun, and then gives you a wide smile. Blood and honour, I told you, young warrior. Right, take out the follower card 1, which is Khurasan. So where are the follower cards?
That's the one on the right side, the brown one with the brown.
Oh, this one. Right. So this is Khurasan the Seer. Okay. Assign it to a player and place a d6 on the hit point rune. Well, we'll give that to you if that's all right.
Yeah, okay.
We need to place a d6. So this is his hit points. He's got 4 hit points.
Yes.
Set it. Oh, it says set it to 2.
Should be. I think that's maybe a misprint then.
Okay, we'll put it on 4 then. Yeah, unless he was already wounded or something.
Oh yes, that was that's actually misprinted. All right,
it's a misprint, so it should be 4. Okay, well there we go. Yeah. Followers act like a separate hero and take their own turn in between hero turns. Unless stated otherwise, they can only use the same skill every turn. So he's got Visions of Pain, which causes somebody to bleed 1. Khurasan counts as immobile. He cannot move or be moved by any effects. In terms of enemy targeting, followers count as heroes. Okay, take out Khurasan's standee and place it on the gate map tile. So we've got some standees. Now, because I'm using the overhead camera today, we're not going to be putting these in the standee bases because you won't be able to see them. We're just gonna lay them down. But this is Khurasan there. Khurasan, as any other followers, have the ability to rest and will fully heal during the rewards phase. If his hit points ever reaches 0, you lose this chapter. So this is my next question. If you do lose this chapter, is there a fail forward mechanism, or do you just have to replay the chapter until you succeed?
No, there's no fail forward mechanism.
Okay.
If you would fail the chapter, you would actually the only thing you would do, you'd reset the full chapter and start playing again. The only thing you would change is that there's a party sheet included with the game.
Okay.
There's this scale of goddesses, which is kind of the so on the one hand side you have Arthur, who is the goddess of life, and on the other hand side you have Isil, who is the goddess of demons. And if you lose a chapter, you move towards the goddess of light side of the game. So if you retry the chapter, it becomes a little bit easier. So the game is kind of balancing itself towards how you're playing as a party. So it's quite the opposite as usual games, where it's a game, if you're playing really well, it gets easier. Here it's the opposite. It stays challenging. Yep.
And then it says, remember to move the time tracker.
Of the demon goddess, then your dungeon starts to get cursed. So
Right. Okay, so we've moved the time tracker, which means we've triggered event 2. Which is timed event token number 2, read verse 112. Down in the tunnels, you can hear footsteps approaching. The enemy is drawing closer. Start the preparation phase. Right, okay, so that is phase 1 for now done, which was exploration. And it has told us that we now need to advance to phase 2. So explain to us a little bit about what phase 2 is about.
Yeah, so phase 2 is 3 separate steps. The first thing is that we will be spending our resources. Then afterwards, once we've spent all our resources, or the ones that we want to spend, we will spawn enemies. And as a third step, we will then position ourselves as heroes. But for now, we will focus on spending our resources. And for that, we can take a look at the dungeon board, where we see the resource tracker on the top left that I mentioned previously. So currently we have 6 silver, and that's 9 runestones.
9 runestones, yep.
So those are our resources, and then there's a third resource, which we can see to the right side of the dungeon board, which is the trap components. So those 3 things we can spend to do different things with them.
Right, so these are the 5 trap components that we drew at random during setup.
Exactly. And so for silver, we can actually buy items from the cart from the vendor.
Yeah.
So those are there. We can also buy traps. So the level 1 of traps, to place a trap, we also need to spend silver. So those are the 2 main things that we can spend silver on. We can also spend silver to heal ourselves or rebuild traps and things like that. But since we didn't have any fights yet, that's not relevant in this current phase. So we can look at that a little bit later once we've gone through the first combat phase. And then the runestones, we can use our runestones to upgrade traps. So on each trap, we can see that the level 2 and then level 3 will use a runestone each, and then also some trap components for those. Those levels need to be built consecutively, so we first need to upgrade to level 2 before we can upgrade to level 3.
Right.
And then there's another thing that we can do with runestones, which is fortifying our dungeon. And to fortify our dungeon, we can spend player number +1, so that's 3 for us because we're 2 players, 3 runestones to fortify a map tile on the dungeon. And if we look at the dungeon again, we can see that these 3 map tiles that we have on the dungeon board, that those 3 already have this fortification symbol, which you can see as also exists as a token.
You can see this in the top left. Right.
So these 3 are already fortified. Why would we want to do that? Because fortifying map tiles is crucial to, is helpful because we can only build traps on fortified map tiles.
Right.
So we can't build them on unfortified map tiles. Also, no enemies will spawn on these fortified map tiles. When we come to spawning enemies in step 2.2 in this phase, we will spawn enemies on all unexplored map tiles. So fortifying them can keep some of them away. And the third thing is that we are allowed to reposition as part of this phase as well. And repositioning is also only possible in the fortified areas.
Okay, so fortifying map tiles seems like a good thing to do. And because we're 2 players, that means it's going to cost us 3 of our runestones in order to fortify a particular location.
Yeah, so maybe it makes sense to do something like that before we build our traps, so we have more options to place them on different map tiles.
That's it. Good. I'm happy to do that first. So, so we spend 3 runestones, go down to 6. And is there a marker? There is a little marker in here. So we choose which one of these we want to fortify.
Yeah. I would probably go with the top left one, or we could also choose the top right. So if you have any preference, you can choose anything as well.
No, I mean, my first question is, could you fortify this one, for example, here?
Yes. No, you can't. You can only fortify adjacent map tiles.
That's right. So we'll fortify that one there.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Let's do that. We still have how many? Like 6.
We've got 6 runestones left, and we've got 6 silver left as well. Now, presumably, anything that we don't spend will carry over to our next preparation phase, whenever that is. But is it also true that if we spend everything now, then whatever we've spent them on will also be good now, but also be good later?
Yes, pretty much. So usually it makes sense to spend them unless you're like saving up for something specifically. But right now we still have more than enough. So I would probably say we fortify another map tile even.
Okay.
Because 6 runestones is really a lot.
Yeah.
So
okay. So let's fortify. Well, let's keep it easy and let's fortify that one. So we've got a nice line here of.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
And then we still have like 6 silver left. So one thing I would probably do is like build because we have like some we have some. Actually, we have a lot of different things. We also have our upgrade card, our quest card that we have, which allows us to upgrade a trap cheaper for like where we save the 1 runestone and 1 trap component.
We do. We've got this. So this was the remains of a trap. So we can spend it instead of a runestone and a trap component when upgrading a trap. So that means we can buy one of the basic traps and then use this to upgrade it for free.
Yes. Okay. So let's take a look at the traps. Like we have the 4 different traps that we can build. We'll look at them later in more detail, but generally we can say like we have the spike trap, which is relatively cheap and also weaker and doesn't have as much hit points. We have the ballista trap, which we can't build right now because it costs 7 silver and we only have 6. So, we can skip that for now. We have the rune trap, which is kind of armor piercing, and then we have the blade trap, which has multi attacks. I would probably go with a blade trap for now. So maybe let's build 1 blade trap for 4 silver.
So we're going to spend 4 silver. And we buy a blade trap. So that is a level 1 blade trap. So what do? Do we take one of the little miniatures?
Yeah. We take one of these, and now we can decide. We take one of the miniatures, put the die inside for the hit points, and then we can place it on one of the fortified map tiles. There's like 2 other restrictions on where we can place them. The one thing is we can't place it on the gate map tile, so there can never be traps built on the gate map tile.
Okay.
And the second restriction is we can never have more than 2 traps on the same map tile. So,
right. Now, how do we indicate that we've upgraded this? If we do upgrade it, how do we note that?
So for upgrades, you will have upgrade tokens in your.
I'm having a look for them. These. Are these ones?
Like,
okay, got them. Right. Okay.
Timing on both sides here. Yeah. So we take one of these, and we can place it underneath the trap. So you can see that depending on the side you turn it to, you have the yellow border, which indicates it's a level 2 trap, and the orange border, which indicates a level 3 trap.
Got it. Right. Okay. So the cost to upgrade this blade trap to level 2 would be a runestone and a gear.
Yeah.
Or we could use this card to just upgrade it for free.
Mm-hmm. Since we can do that, let's maybe spend the card first, so we get it to level 1.
That card, and that is now a level 2 trap. Now we could, if we wanted to, because we have 2 of these gears, we could theoretically upgrade it to level 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that would be one option. We could upgrade it to level 3, which might be nice. So let's do that.
Yep.
Let's
upgrade so that's going to cost
level 3, quite powerful as well.
1 runestone, and we've got level 3. We've still got 2 runestones, and we've got 2 silver left.
Mm-hmm.
Now I don't know how many traps we're going to need, or if we want to buy any other of these items as well.
We have upgraded the blade level 3. We still need to spend the 2 gears for that, so they still need to be removed.
Yes. We've bought our blade trap. We've upgraded it to level 3. Mm-hmm. We've spent the 2 gears. We've spent the runestones. So yeah, we've still got 2 silver and 2 runestones left.
And we still need to place the trap on one of the fortified map tiles.
We do. Right now, do we have any indication of where enemies are going to be coming? I think you said that we're going to place 1 enemy on each. You said each unexplored map tile, but do these count as unexplored?
Each unfortified map tile.
Each unfortified. So we're going to get more enemies coming from this way.
So there's 4 on the left side, and we have 3 on the right side because we have a +1 spawn.
Oh, we've got the +1 spawn token. I think put the blade trap there.
Yeah. Okay, that works.
Okay.
And then we still have 2 silver left and 2 runes left, right? 2
silver and 2 runestones left. So we do have some items that we could buy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but if we buy items, we can't really utilize the runestones for anything. So the question would be, if we buy a spike trap, we could use one of the runestones as well and utilize that to upgrade.
So if we buy a spike trap with 2 silver, we could then upgrade it with. Now, what's this? It's got question mark.
So that's 2 trap components, but we can decide which ones we want to spend.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, I think do that. Let's spend our remaining 2 silver to buy a basic spike trap. Mm-hmm. And then let's spend a runestone and these 2 trap components to upgrade it to level 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's pop that on there. Okay, we have 1 runestone left.
Suggestion I would because we're playing this for the first time, I would probably place the trap one more slot to the left.
Okay.
That's because this one has very low hit points, and if there's any enemies attacking traps, it might get easily destroyed if it's really far out on the right side.
Right. Okay. Okay. So we've got 1 runestone left, so we'll save that. We'll save that for next time.
All right. And with that, we can't really do anything for now. The only thing we could do is sell our runestone to gain 1 silver, but usually runestones are worth more than silver, so I'd rather not do that right now.
But if you needed to, you can sell runestones for 1 silver each. Right.
Yep.
So next we reshuffle the enemy deck and we spawn on unfortified map tiles. So these are the normal enemies, and am I drawing 1 for each tile?
Yes, and at that point I need to explain one kind of algorithm or order, because we're using that at different stages of the game.
Yep.
And that's the so-called tile activation order, which is essentially like how we activate in different phases certain things tile by map tile by map tile.
Right.
So in the end we will have activated all map tiles. So for spawning, for example, we will be activating each map tile, and if there is an unfortified map tile, we will perform the spawn there. This tile activation order, this is as it's called, it always starts on the gate map tile. So we will be starting in the middle where the miniatures are currently placed.
Yep.
Activating that, we don't spawn on because it's fortified, we don't
It's
spawn
fortified,
there.
yep.
And then we will be moving away one step away from this map tile. So going to the next one, next adjacent one. If, like in this case, we have two options, we will select the one that comes first in clockwise order. So we will be using the right one first and
Yep.
activate that one. And then we will be applying the same algorithm. So let's activate the next one that's next to this one. So no,
So
one
next to this one. Right, okay.
Yes, from the last one we've activated. So we just go one to the right, and
Yep.
this is still fortified, so we move down one. So we just continue down that entire corridor. And then at that point where we have the first unfortified map tile, at this point we will be spawning enemies.
Right.
So for this one, usually we would spawn one enemy, but because we have the +1 spawn token, we even spawn two enemies on there.
Yep.
Just draw the top card of the enemy deck and place it next to the map tile. And then we can take a look. We have the Cobalt Frostcaller there.
Cobalt Frostcaller.
Yes.
Just
So
gonna
we need the
zoom in a
standee
bit.
and place the standee on that map tile.
There we go. So this is the Cobalt Frostcaller. So we would get the standee for that, which is this one, and then that would go on that tile there.
Exactly. And we also need health tokens. So the spar on the enemy card, which with the numbers, that one is the health tracker for the enemies, and we need to place one of these health tokens, which are the red ones.
Disc. Yep.
And place it on the player number. So depending on the player number, we are 2 players. So you can look for the player icon on one of the bubbles with the number 2
Yep,
on
that's
it.
there. So it's got 4 health. Oh, well, it's got 4 armor. Is that its health?
No, it's not for health, and the symbols in there are just like does it have any defensive traits?
Right.
So it's just a reminder that this enemy has armor.
Yeah. Okay. So that goes on there. And then because of the +1 spawn counter, we're going to do that again for this location.
Yes.
Right. Now, does the spawn counter stay?
Yes.
Right.
Stays
Oh,
for the
okay.
entire-
So this is definitely somewhere that we might want to look at fortifying next, assuming you are allowed to fortify somewhere with a spawn counter, or are you not?
You are allowed to do that. The thing is that tokens don't get removed by fortifying. So even if we were to fortify it, the +1 spawn token would still cause one enemy to spawn
Right.
there.
Okay. Got it. So we have a Kobold Assassin.
Ouch. But we'll see about that later.
Okay. So we have a Kobold Assassin there. That starts off in a 2-player game with 5 health. Okay. Got it.
Yes.
So that's those 2 that are there. And then we proceed down to this one.
Yes.
And that has a Kobold Trapper,
Mm-hmm.
which is got 5 health, and it's got well, it looks like a circle with a cross through it.
That's
It
the
says
trap
no
immune.
traps,
Yes, trap immune.
because he's too clever for that. Right, now where's he?
Mhm.
So each of these monsters is unique. We're not going to get 2 of the same monster, is that right, at the same time?
Yes, each of these is unique.
Right, okay. And now we go over to this side of the board.
Mm-hmm. So again, following that algorithm, we go to the left side, and at that point, that one's still fortified. And now again, we take the path clockwise order. So
we go
yes,
here.
on to the bottom, and then we continue down that corridor
So
and
we
then
have a
jump
Kobold
back.
Spearman there. I'll just draw them out, I think, now. Kobold Bomber there. Cave Worm. And a Kobold Archer. Right. Let's grab some of these. So the Cave Worm is in there. We have a Kobold Bomber. We have Kobold Archer. And the last one is the Kobold Spearman. Right, okay, let's get some health counters on these. Do you want to just give us a quick overview of how combat is played out then?
Yes. So for the combat phase will, first, before we start combat, we will be able to reposition ourselves now after the enemy spawn. So we can place our heroes on any of the fortified map tiles.
Right.
Since we had this Kobold encounter where you gained the whetstone, but you aren't allowed to move yourself to another space, so you need to start on the gate map tile for a specific time. Yeah. But usually you would be able to position yourself as well.
Right.
And so you can place me on the trap just to the left on this. I would start maybe on the trap level.
You're going to start here. Okay.
And now we start the combat phase. And the combat phase is kind of, it goes through 3 different steps. The first one is all the enemies will take their turns. Then all the traps will take their turns. And thirdly, we will take our turns.
Right.
And this will repeat until we've either won the combat, which means we've defeated all the enemies in this case, or until we've lost the combat, which is either happening because the dungeon gate has been reduced to 0 hit points, or because both of us have been KO'd. So if both our heroes are KO, we also lose the game.
Right.
If one of us just drops out and goes to 0 hit points, that only means we can't heal until we come to the next preparation phase. So we can actually restore heroes to full hit points, but not during combat once they've gone to reach 0 hit points.
Right. Okay. And yeah, normally, as you say, I would be able to start on any of these fortified locations, but because of that event earlier on, I have to start on the gate, which presumably means I'm going to have to spend some of my time moving somewhere.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
So, combat, 3 steps. Enemy turns, brackets, bleed at the end of the turn, then the trap turns, then the hero turns. So it looks like the enemies are going first.
Exactly. And now we come back to this tile activation order that we've also used to spawn the enemies, and we use the same order to activate the enemies. So starting out with the gate map tile and then going down the corridor to the right.
Yep.
In this case.
So
the first. Yeah. So since we have 2 enemies there, we can decide which enemy goes first. Doesn't really matter that much, but let's start with the Frostcaller for now, because that one is a little bit easier to just explain how enemies work.
Yep.
So when an enemy activates, maybe we can take a closer look at the card for that.
Let's have a look now.
We can see that in this for this card, like he has, we take a look at the box in the middle, which indicates like which target does the enemy have.
Yep.
So each enemy has a preferred target type. So this symbol here that we see here is the symbol for players or for heroes. So his preferred target are heroes. So he will check, does he has, or the enemy will check, does he have his preferred target in range? We can see this enemy has attack 2 at range 1, so he can reach 1 map tile away, so he could even attack on an adjacent map tile. But since there are no heroes there, he can't do that. So if an enemy can't do his preferred target, can't attack his preferred target type, he would then instead try to attack the gate. But the gate is also not an adjacent map tile, so that's not possible either. So if an enemy can neither attack his preferred target nor the gate, then as a third option, he will instead move, and movement by default would be 1 towards the gate map tile. So the enemy will now move 1 towards the gate map tile.
Okay, so in this particular case, because he can't attack a hero or the gate, he moves to there.
Exactly. There are some enemies in the game which have more than 1 movement, which would be indicated on the card, but currently I think we only have movement 1 enemies here.
Right.
So now we come to a very pleasant friend, which is the Kobold Assassin. And
start of its first turn, move onto the map tile with the hero with the highest hit points.
Yes, so we don't want you to get lonely there in the middle of the dungeon. So he will join you because you have 6 hit points and I only have 5. So,
so that literally just moves straight to me, sneaks out of the shadows, comes out behind me.
Yes.
Okay. And that's at the start of its turn.
Yes.
So I'm guessing it's going to attack me.
Yes. So usually, because we first check for attacks and then move an enemy won't attack on the same turn that they move. But this guy, he's fast,
right?
As a trait, and so he is still able to perform his attack on the same turn. And his attack is actually X, and X is half of the heroes with the highest hit points on this map tile rounded up.
Yep.
So since you have 6 hit points, he will attack you for 3.
For 3.
Yes.
Okay, now this is where we look at my character, because my character has armor and retaliate.
Yes, the thing is you need to activate that first, so there's really nothing you can do for that on your first turn. You can only do that on later turns.
Right, so if these skills aren't activated, I can't actually do anything about this then?
Yes, you can only use them during your phase, so
right.
Which is actually one of the pretty annoying things with a Kobold Assassin.
Yeah, so I'm down to 3 hit points already.
Yep.
That's not a good start at all. But if he was attacking the gate, it would only be 1. Right.
Yes, but we can't decide because his preferred target are heroes, so he has to attack the heroes, and he even has like the specific instruction to target the hero with the highest hit points.
Yes.
Otherwise, we could have said he could have gone for Coruscant because Coruscant's on the same map tile.
Right.
We've decided But with him, that's not possible.
Got
Because
it.
he always goes for the one with the highest hit points. His next
But-
attack will actually target Corazon, because now Corazon is the one with...
He's on 4 and I'm only on 3. Yeah, got it. Okay, so now we go down to here. We have the Kobold Trapper. Now he's got an ability on the enemy turn, so that is now. One hero anywhere on a map tile with a trap suffers attack 1.
Mm-hmm.
So unfortunately, that's you.
Yep, I'm on a map tile with a trap, so I suffer that attack 1. I go down to 4 hit points.
Yeah. So what does that mean? That he's jury rigged that trap, or he's fixed it or something, and it's hurt you?
Yes, he has kind of manipulated our traps against us, and so we will actually be hit by our own traps as long as he's alive.
Okay. Now, its target is a trap.
Yes.
But there's no range on it.
Mm-hmm.
So does that mean it's range 0 effectively?
Exactly. He can only attack on his own map tile.
Yep. And he can't attack the gate, so it moves to here.
Exactly.
Right. Okay. So that's all of those done. Now we go over here and we're activating the Kobold Spearman first. The target is question mark.
Yes, question mark means that they will literally just go for anything that is in range. So they will just, if there's something in range, they just go for it. He doesn't have any range, so in this case, he won't attack anything. Also, if there's multiple different target types, we can decide which target type, valid target types in range. We can decide which one he goes for with a question mark.
Okay, so it says target question mark, attack 2. If this had a valid target, attack 1 against a different target on an adjacent map tile.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So his spear will kind of pierce through to an adjacent map tile as well, and something there as well.
In this case, it's just going to move to there.
Yeah, exactly. On his next turn, it would attack either me or the trap, and we could decide which one it would go for.
Right, okay.
If I stay on the same tile.
So, Kobold Bomber.
Yes.
Now, that's got a different target icon.
That's the icon for the gate. So this one checks if he prefers to attack the gate.
Yep.
So since the preferred target type and the gate are the same, both checks will just result in the same thing. So he will literally only attack the gate or move. He will never do something else. Right. So since he can't attack the gate, he will move.
He moves there. So his job is to go and blow the gate up. He won't try and attack a character, a hero, or anything like that.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Right. Now we do the cave worm. Right, now we've got to have a look at this cave worm because this is quite nasty. Let's just move the camera over to the cave worm, which is here. Let's have a look at these two. So this is immune to traps. This is targeting the gate as well with an attack of 2. But hit points wise, this has 9. So it's quite a lot. And now here, if we were 3 players, it would actually have 13 health. Is that right?
Yes.
Right, okay. So yeah, 9 health. But it is just trying to go for the gate. So again, this can't target the gate from where it is. So it's just going to move to here. And it is immune to traps.
Correct.
And then the next one, the Kobold Archer, has a range of 2. So that can actually attack. Because Kobold Archer is here, you're here, and its target is a hero. So it's going to attack you for 2. And if I've understood that correctly, you just take 2 damage.
Yes, correct. So I go down to 2 hit points.
So this is not a good start. You're down to 2, I'm down to 3, and we've not done anything yet.
Yeah, well, can't always win, but we'll try to.
It goes when the assassin turns up.
Yep.
Right. So the enemy turns is over. None of them are bleeding yet. So now we go to the trap turns. So we do have a blade trap here, which is a fully upgraded blade trap. Let's have a look at this.
Yeah. When we activate traps, we also follow the tile activation order. So we can
right. So it's this trap first.
Move to the spike trap.
Yep.
But since it can't attack anything because it has no range and there's nothing on its map tile, we can move over to the blade trap.
Got it. So we would do that one first, and now we do this one. So this is 4 times attack 1.
Exactly. And let's take a look at the possible targets that we have on that map tile. Theoretically, we would have 2 enemies on there, which is the cave worm and the Kobold Spearman.
Yep.
But since the cave worm is trap immune, it really can't be attacked. So let's take a look at the Kobold Spearman. And I just realized there's one thing missing on the Kobold Spearman, which is we need an evasion token on it because it has evasion, which looks like this.
Yep.
We place it with that side facing up on the Cobalt Spearman. So I would usually put it on the enemy card.
Yep.
And evasion means that the first attack while this evasion is active against that enemy will deal 0 damage and instead just flip the evasion token to being deactivated.
Right. Okay.
So he has 5 hit points. So usually an attack 5 would kill him, but if an attack 5 were to hit him right now, it would just do 0 damage and we would just be flipping the evasion token.
Right.
And so we've made but the trap that we've placed there, which is 4 times attack 1, is actually great against him because the first attack will just be deactivating the evasion and the other 3 attacks will actually still deal damage on him.
Right. So it's 4 separate attacks, all at attack 1. And as you say, the first one gets rid of the evasion, and then the remaining 3...
You just flip the marker to the
deactivated.
Sorry.
Right. Okay.
Because he will regain evasion at the end of his turn.
Oh, okay. Right. Got it. Nice.
But it's already quite good.
Okay. Now, does that damage the trap? Does the trap reduce in hit points or anything like that? Or does it constantly do its thing?
It will continue doing its thing. So the only thing that damages the trap is if the enemy were to attack it. So, for example, the Trapper or the Cobalt Spearman would be attacking traps once they're in range of them.
Right. Okay. Got it.
Mm-hmm. And that's the trap turn. So now we go over to hero turns.
Yay, we get to go.
And we even have a follower with Coruscant, so we have kind of an NPC that we can use as well.
Yes.
I will start with the NPC actually because he's relatively easy to use. He only has like one ability that he will do on his turn, which is
bleed 1.
Yes, the bleed 1. So for the bleed, we would need the bleed tokens, which look like this, which are like really small tokens.
Got them.
And so he will definitely, because he doesn't have anything else in range, he will definitely do the bleed 1 on the Cobalt Assassin. And you place token on the health bar on the number that he currently has bleed on. So currently he receives bleed 1, so you just place it on the 1.
Right. Okay.
That's kind of just to remind that he has 1 bleed. Bleed means that at the end of the enemy's turn, he will suffer. So at the end of his turn, he will suffer 1 damage.
Got it. Okay.
One thing that's important in the term when we come to the terminology, turn in Midhalla means 1 unit starts its turn and it ends its turn. That's 1 turn.
Yeah.
So when we're talking about a turn, we're always talking about a single unit, not all the enemies, for example.
Got it. Okay. So that's Karasan done, and now we've got us. So if you want to go first, we'll have a look at your sheet and explain what wrong one. This one. Explain what a hero can do on their turn.
Exactly. So so we will definitely need 2 of these markers on each turn, and so I would maybe place 2 of the markers already to the left of each of these skill rows, because we will be using 1 for the top skill row first. So we will first activate a top row skill, and we will then activate a bottom row skill.
Okay.
What we do for that is we place the marker on what we want to use, and then we execute that. And then after we've done that with the top row, we would place it do the same thing with the bottom row.
Right.
The thing is, on the first turn, it doesn't really matter, but on all subsequent turns, we will then need to move that marker to a currently unoccupied space, which means on our subsequent turn, we can't use the same skill that we've used on the previous turn. Only 1 turn thereafter, we could go back to that one.
Right. Okay. So, got it.
Currently, I still have all of the spaces available. And we can also decide to not use things that are part of that skill. So for example, I could put my token currently to advance and not to move my character. And just okay. Or if I move or to go to sprint, I could move. Moving means up to that amount. I don't have to use the full move, for example.
Okay.
But currently, I would probably go with the sprint, which is move 3.
For you, it's move 2.
Or move 2. Oh yeah, sorry. Or maybe I will do something else, which could also be kind of fun. I will go with the throw flask, which is an attack 1 and a heal 1.
Yeah.
So attack 1 is on the same map tile. The heal 1 has a range in very small letters below that, which means range applies to the heal, not to the attack.
Right.
So I can attack 1 against the Cobalt Spearman on my map tile.
So you do an attack 1 against the Cobalt Spearman. Yep. So he's down to 1 hit point, and then you can.
Actually, I'll be using the fix it next to it. Sorry, not the throw flask, because that it has a range one, which is even nicer. Yeah.
So are you using throw flask now?
Yeah, let's use the fix it instead. Which is better.
Okay.
Because it has the range one, and then I'm not be attacking the Kobold Spearman, but I will be attacking the
bomber.
The Kobold.
Okay.
No. Doesn't really matter. I go for the cave worm with it. So my range, they have attack one, range one, but I will attack the cave worm with it.
Going to attack the cave worm. Okay.
And then the repair, it doesn't do anything because currently the trap is not damaged.
It's not damaged. Yep.
Anything. And then for the bottom one, I will go with the engage, which is an attack 2 against the Kobold Spearman, which is enough to take down
which kills the Kobold Spearman. Right. So do we presumably just take all of these away?
Yes, we take all of the tokens and everything away. You can place the card back on top of the enemy deck.
Yep.
And that's that. So that one is defeated.
Hey, right. And that's good because the evasion was going to come back otherwise.
Yeah, and then we can also take a look at the rest of the hero board because I also need to do something else because otherwise I'm just going to get killed during the next enemy turn, which I don't want. So I have 2 ultimate abilities, which I mentioned in the beginning at the top. And that's what the other 2 tokens are for. So I could, and those can be used in addition to whatever you do on your turn, and they can be used at any time when you're not currently executing a skill. So either before the skills, between the skills, or after the skills, you can use your ultimate abilities.
But they are one use per battle?
They are one use per combat or per battle, yes. The thing is you only get one back after combat, so if we were to use both of them, we would still only be getting one of them back.
Got it. Okay.
But because I will be receiving at least 2, maybe even 3 damage on my next turn, I will be using the healing balm on myself, which is a heal 4, so I go back to maximum hit points.
But I'm guessing you can't go above your maximum. Yeah.
Exactly, so that's 5 for me.
Okay.
And that's pretty much all you can do on your turn.
Right.
We can go to your hero now.
Yeah,
the one thing that you can do that I can't, because you have 2 items. Items work pretty much exactly the same as ultimate abilities. They are kind of free actions that you can use on your turn. And in that case, you would exhaust that card and just turn it by 90 degrees. And then you would be using the effect of that. There are some effects on your tableau that we need to take a look at before you can do your turn, just so we know what those do.
Mm-hmm.
So you also have move and attack, which are pretty straightforward. Armor, how does armor work in Midhalla? Armor, you would be gaining an armor token and be placing that on your hero board once you activate armor, for example with the block. And you would armor would subtract the amount of armor from each attack against you until it's the beginning of your next turn again, when you would be removing the armor.
Okay.
Then we have retaliate. Retaliate, works in a way that you would be placing retaliate tokens on your hero in the amount of retaliate that you receive, and they also stay until the beginning of your next turn. Now they can be used when an enemy on your map tile performs an attack. The thing is, the enemy doesn't need to attack you, they just need to be on your map tile. So they could be attacking the gate or a trap instead as well, and you could still retaliate against that.
Right.
So after their attack, you can then use or spend your retaliate that you have on your character, or part of the retaliate, to cause damage up to the amount of your retaliate value that you're spending. So you would be spending those things. The thing is, those would be damage and not attacks. So you would be circumventing, for example, evasion or armor or other defensive abilities.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, looking at this, I could do a quick slash followed by an overpower and kill the Kobold Assassin.
Yes.
It has
definitely.
5 hit points.
Mm-hmm.
It does mean that the bleed 1 that Karasen put on is a bit of a waste. But that Kobold Assassin seems quite nasty.
Yeah, definitely. And since the bleed only triggers at the end of the Kobold's turn, he would still perform an attack if you don't kill it on your turn.
Exactly. So I think I'm just going to keep it simple, and we're going to do quick slash followed by overpower. Now that doesn't mean I can't do them next turn, but that is 5 damage dealt to the Kobold Assassin, and it's gone.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I have ultimates, but they are no use to me. So I have 3 health, which is a little bit concerning, but I don't think anything's going to attack me. Oh no, the Kobold Frostcaller is going to attack me next turn.
No, it's not, because we will first do the target check, and you're not in range yet because he only has range 1. And
True.
since he can't attack, he will then move, but he doesn't have the fast trait, so he can't attack after moving.
Oh, right. Okay, got it. Yeah, so you can't move and attack unless you've got the fast trait. Got it. Right. Okay, so I think we're done. So now we go back to step 1 of phase 3, which is the enemy turns again. So following the priority sequence, it is the Kobold Frostcaller first. So again, he wants to target a hero, range 1. He doesn't have range 1, so he moves. But because he doesn't have fast, he cannot move and attack at the same time. And the great thing is, he's now in the space with our spike trap.
Then we do only the background. So for now, let's go with the other enemies first.
So we do the Kobold Trapper next. So at the enemy turn start, so that's at the start of its turn, it's going to be you again. You get an attack of 1 because of the malfunctioning trap.
Yes.
So you're down to 4.
4 hit points.
And then it wants to target a trap. It can't, so it's going to move to there.
Exactly.
Right, over here we have a cave worm. So the cave worm is only interested in targeting the gate. He ignores the traps, he ignores the hero. He's not on the gate space, so it just moves to there.
Yep.
Okay, so that's there. And then finally the Kobold Archer. No, not the Kobold Bomber. In fact, the Kobold Bomber... No, we're right. Yeah, that was first. Then it's the Kobold Bomber, but this is the same. Only interested in targeting the gate, not on the gate, moves to there.
Yeah.
Then we go around, then we do the Kobold Archer, which does have a hero within 2, so it doesn't move, and it shoots you for 2.
Yep, I go down to 2 hit points.
Down to 2. There you go. It flows quite quickly, because I've just done most of that myself without your assistance, having only played 1 round. So it is quite intuitive once you've got the hang of how it works.
Yeah.
Traps.
Exactly.
Unless I missed something, but you're not saying that I missed anything, so we're all good. Excellent. Right.
Yep.
So we've got this spike trap. So spike traps are different. Spike traps are, and this is an improved one. So this is Pierce with attack 2. Now I'm going to guess that Pierce means it gets through armor, which is good because the Kobold Frostcaller has 1 armor.
Yeah, I mean, Pierce, because you also have it in your tableau, might be worth looking at what it does exactly. Means once it activates, it lasts until the end of the turn of the current unit. So for the traps, it doesn't matter. It's just a single attack. But for you, if you activate Pierce, it lasts until the end of your turn. You may be doing multiple attacks on your turn, which will actually ignore armor.
It's per turn, not per attack. Okay, great. So this spike trap, I think, does 2 damage to the Kobold Frostcaller.
Yes.
And that's that done. Right, that's that trap done. Then we go over to this trap, which again is 4 attack 1s on the Kobold Bomber, which it doesn't have any armor.
We have like we have one kind of defensive trait, which is when the Kobold Bomber dies, he will perform an attack 3 against everything on the same map tile. So it doesn't happen yet.
But presumably this is not optional. This blade trap is not optional.
Yes, if you can attack with a trap, you have to attack with a trap.
So if that Kobold Bomber would have died now, then so would have you.
Yes.
Right.
And it would have damaged the trap as well.
And the trap as well. Right. Okay, so that's the traps done. It's now our go.
Yes.
So I think last time we used Karasan first, but then it turned out that his ability wasn't actually used. So I think leave him afterwards. Let's do our thing. And then after that, we'll then decide where he's going to... Then again, he's immobile, isn't he? So he can only affect things on his tile anyway. Right.
He won't be doing anything this
turn.
He
won't be doing anything. Okay. So if you want to go first, presumably we can alter the order in which we go. Yes. But what happens here? These 2 discs now must move to a different one, whereas the one on the ultimate stays. That's been used.
Yes, I won't be getting that back until after we've finished combat.
Got it. Okay.
So I want to get out of the Kobold Archer's range for sure. And ideally, I also want to do something on my turn, like maybe deal some damage. So I would maybe move by 1 space to the right, so I can get in range of the of the cave worm.
Yep. So you select
Okay.
that and you move one space to get where the cave worm is.
Yes.
And then do you want to heal 2 or attack 2?
I'll probably do the attack 2 for now because I want to deal some damage to the cave worm because it's still at 8 hit points and 8
Yeah,
is
it's down to 6 now.
So and that's it for my turn for now.
Right.
I think.
Okay. So I could advance 1 and engage, and I could get rid of the Kobold Frostcaller if I exhausted the Whetstone. Because it's got it's got armor, and I would need to exhaust the Whetstone to do that. I'm trying to think if that is the thing that I want to do. The other option, I'm a little worried about this bomber. Because if neither of us have a ranged attack, then it's going to blow up on the space that we're on.
I do have a ranged attack though, so theoretically I can attack.
Oh, you do? The Fix-It has a ranged attack. Okay.
Yeah. The one downside is like if I want to do it, yeah, might be worth theoretically to for me to do a different move if we want to blow it up outside of the space of Coruscant. But
okay. So I'm gonna choose advance. Yeah, so I'm just going to move 1 and I'm going to go here. And then I'm going to choose engage, attack 2, but I'm going to exhaust the Whetstone first to give it pierce, which means the Frostcaller is dead.
Yes, nice.
Okay, now this Whetstone, is that gone afterwards, or will I get it back for the next battle?
You will be regaining all your items after combat.
Right, got it. Okay, and that's me done.
Okay, excellent.
So we have Karasim, but yeah, there's nothing on his tile, so he can't do anything. Right, back to enemy turns. Yes. It looks like this Kobold Trapper is going to go first. So unfortunately, I get an attack 1. Oh, I forgot about that. So I'm down to 2. And then he's targeting a trap. He can't target a trap because there isn't one, so he moves to here, where there is a trap. And just pop that there, but he doesn't attack because he's moved and he's not fast. So that's that done. Next, we do the cave worm. The cave worm simply moves to the gate, but again, it's not fast, so it doesn't attack. Then we have the goblin bomber, which moves to here and doesn't attack. And then we have the archer that can't attack because it's targeting heroes and it's only got a range of 2. So it moves to here. Okay, yeah. We're all done. The first round was devastating. After that, it's looking a lot better. Right. Trap turns. So we do this trap first, and this is the pierce with attack 2 on that, except it's immune to traps. Yes. So unfortunately, our spike trap isn't going to do very much at the moment. And this trap also isn't going to do very much because it doesn't have range. So our traps don't do anything this turn. Hero turns.
Yep.
Yeah. So you could do the attack 1 at range 1, but unfortunately, it's on your top row, so you can't move and do that. Yep. Yeah. Now, do you have to do the top row first and then the second row?
Yes, you always have to do top row first. So I should have thought about that before and positioned myself on my previous turn. Then I'm in a better position to deal with him right now. So right now there's only 2 options. Either I stay on the same map tile, but that's not really a viable option because that's probably going to kill me. So we'll likely have to let him go into the middle of the space. So
you could start attacking the archer.
I could do that, although I'd prefer if he were to move one more space, because then he would just move into the...
He'd be in the trap. Right, yeah.
Nice. Because it's 4 times attack 1, then he's almost dead, but just standing.
And you do have Athea's Blessing on the bottom row, which is great for you, because that's heal 2, range 2.
Yeah. So
Well,
probably
while you're thinking, I'm going to get Karasan the Seer to put bleed 1 on the cave worm.
that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the only viable.
that's all he can do. Also, I'm just working out how to deal with this kobold trapper, and I think I can quite easily just by doing quick slash overpower. It's not got any armor, it's got 5 health. Gone.
Okay, makes sense. Then I'm going to sprint over to your map tile, I think.
Yeah, so you sprint, you move 2 to here.
And then I will heal you for 2.
Okay, thank you. Right, that is our hero turns done. So we go back to enemy turns. So there's nothing now on this side. So we're looking at... Oh no, we do the cave worm first anyway, because it's on the gate tile. And it's going to attack the gate for 2, and then it's going to bleed for 1. So presumably we just tick that down to 18.
Yes.
And then it bleeds for 1. Then we have the kobold bomber, which moves onto the gate tile, but doesn't attack it this turn. And then next turn, if you attack it, it's going to blow up, and it's going to deal damage to the cave worm as well, which is great. Unfortunately, it does damage Karasan as well, but he'll be fine. I'm sure he'll be okay. And the kobold archer moves to there because there's no heroes within 2. Right. Traps. We have a trap here, but there's no enemies. We have this trap that does 4 attack 1s on the kobold archer. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then hero turns. So yeah, do you want to go first and do your fix it?
I think I will. So fix it, that's an attack 1 against the kobold bomber.
Range 1, so that's dead.
Kobold bomber dies and immediately triggers an attack 3 against everything on its map tile. So that's 3 attack against the thingy, 3 against the gate,
and
3 against Karasan. So
yeah.
And then on the bottom row, I can't really do much, so I will use my engage, but I don't have enemies in range. But I still need to move my token every turn.
Yep.
Then I'll do to you to, do your thing over there.
Yeah, so...
I think you still need to remove the kobold bomber standee from the map tile.
I do. I forgot to remove that. Thank you. So let's get rid of this cave worm. So... yeah, I'm going to block, which is move 1, armor 1, move to here, and then just engage for attack 2.
Yeah, sounds good.
Which kills the cave worm.
Yeah. You will also be gaining, or you would also be gaining one of the armor tokens, which you can place on your character board, which look like this.
Got it, yeah. So I have 1 armor until my next turn. Which is good, because I'm about to get shot at by a kobold archer.
Yep.
Okay. Much. Which I think is what's happening next. So the kobold archer shoots me for 2. I have 1 armor, so I take 1 damage. But then when the traps go off, our blade trap kills the kobold archer.
Exactly.
Right.
But the combat phase always ends at the end of the hero's turns.
Yes.
So we still get to take our turns, which probably doesn't change that much for you, but I have healing skills, and because we don't auto-heal after combat...
Oh, right, okay.
Those at least once to...
So you get a heal 2, which presumably
I get a heal 1 with the flask, and I got a heal 2 with the Aethys Blessing, so overall for 3. And I will actually use all... what's your current hit points?
I'm on 3.
3, so I'm actually going to heal you up to max hit points for that.
Okay, so you were on 2.
Yes,
and you're just going to put me to 6, and you're happy to stay on 2?
Yeah.
Okay, and we've got Karasan on 1.
Silver later on, yeah. Well, yeah. So we're done with the combat phase, and we jump to the phase now.
Phase 4 is rewards. So we check the quest board.
Yeah, so that's the token that's up there in the quest board next to the dungeon
Yep.
board. So we look for that's a story marker. So we now read the section for story marker 1.
Okay. Story token 1. So we're only triggering that token as a reward after the first battle. Right. Read verse 123. So 123 says, place story token 2 in the quest board. Because we've done 1. Where have I put 2? I put them safe because I knew we'd need them. There you go. Story token 2. If you have found Karasan, we have. Read verse 126. 126. Karasan seems exhausted, but when the seer turns to you, his expression is one of great resolve. This attack was just the beginning. The evil is still lurking in these tunnels, and it needs to be stopped. Based on my vision, the tunnels in the east give way to some ancient knowledge. I have never been there myself, as they are sealed by some barrier. But with this, he points at your amulet of ferocity, you should be able to pass it. If you continue in the western tunnels, this should bring you closer to the darkness we have to stop, and time is of the essence. Restore Karasan to his maximum hit points. That's handy. Okay, so that was the quest board. Next, each hero resets 1 ultimate ability. Now I didn't use either of mine, but you reset yours. We reset used items. We remove skill tokens and status tokens. But not from the ultimates. Level up. So we are now going to draw player number plus 2 skills, and each player chooses 1. Now, is that from the level 2 or from the level 1?
From the level 2 now, because we always choose the level that we currently don't have. So now it's level 2.
Got it. Right, let's just have a look at my board. So these are the level 2 skills. So we're going to give these a shuffle. And I'm just going to lay them out just above my character so that we can see what we've got. We have focus, heal. So these are going to go in the bottom row.
Yes.
Oh, lots of text. Growing threat.
Nice.
Yeah, now I've got lots of attack on my bottom row, but I don't have any heal. So I'm tempted to take the focus heal. Just in case.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm tempted to. So, yeah, I'll take that one. Which one would you like?
I think I'm actually going to go with the bow shot because I already have text in the top row. So having ranged text in the bottom row as well may allow me to just remain stationary in some turns. Right.
Now, you can explain to me how level 3 skills work when we get there. Next, we're going to add 2 more items to Dara's card. So up here, we draw 2 more items. We've got a Talisman of Athea and a Valkyrie potion. So those added. We gain 6 silver and 2 runestones. So 6 silver, 2 runestones. Gain 3 trap components. So we take the trap components again, give them a shuffle, and we're going to gain 3 more. We've got some more crystals, some more rope, and another gear. Okay, so they're just things that we get as an extra reward at the end of each of the combats, effectively.
Yes.
Right, and then we go back to exploration. Now, these traps, do they stay there, or can we take them off and redeploy them later?
No, they stay in the same place.
They're fixed. Them in. Right, okay, so back to exploration. Now, for anybody who just wanted to watch a short version of this video and get an idea of how the game plays, this is probably a good point. You've seen the adventure mode and you've seen a combat. We're going to carry on playing till the end of the chapter. I'm just thinking, obviously, not everybody will want to watch the whole video. So this is probably a good time for those people to go, yep, I've seen enough. I like the game. If you're one of those people, thanks for watching. But for everybody else, we're gonna carry on and play to the end of the chapter.
Yeah.
Right then. So let's move these traps over there. And where are we going to go? So what's our objective now? He did say we need to go east. And we're going to come across some kind of barrier, but this amulet is going to help us get past it. So if we do go east...
Two options. We can go to the east, which was the ancient tunnels that we can walk through, or we can go to the I think the southern part, which is the which was the other way for some evil thing that's there.
Yeah, I think we're going to go here. So we're going to move your character board this way, and we're going to go D. So let's have a look at what D says. D says, as you follow these tunnels, you need to cut your way through thick cobwebs. It looks like they haven't been used in a while. So we're going to place map tile 10A, cobwebs. So I'm suspecting spiders, but you never know. So there's 10A. And we are drawing a tier 1 event. Okay. Tier 1 event. So we have, you find an old scroll with strange runes. As you read them, the runes on the parchment disappear, but they leave you with newfound knowledge. Draw 2 level 1 skills. One hero may gain one of these skills and place it anywhere in the top row. Discard the other. So we're drawing 2 level 1 skills. And it's so we've drawn Sprint and Swift Revenge, and it says one hero may gain one of these skills and place it anywhere in the top row, discard the other. So that's presumably replacing one of our existing skills.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. So we've got Sprint, which is move 2. Now that would be good for either of us to replace our move 1. Or we've got Swift Revenge, which is move 1 and retaliate 2.
Yeah.
So, any thoughts?
So I think better probably for you, because I already have a move 2 in the top row. So
yeah, I don't have a move 2. So if you're happy with me taking the Sprint, I will overwrite my advance. Then we get rid of that one. Okay, nice. Okay, so we did that. We've read the section, and now we need to move the time tracker. So the time is now on 4. And now we go back to exploration. So I think your character is going to have to be moved again, because we have I. And I says, you encounter a runic barrier shimmering in an eerie red light. As you come closer, your amulet of ferocity begins to vibrate slightly. Do you want to try to walk through the barrier? Yes. If yes, read verse 102. Otherwise, continue elsewhere. But in this case, do not move the time tracker forward. But yes, no, we're gonna continue. When you get in contact with the barrier, you feel a slight tingle run over you. But then you pass through. As you step beyond, however, your amulet's vibration ceases, and it looks dull, as if it has lost its energy. The tunnels beyond are cut into the stone, and the walls are covered in runes. Enik slows her pace, then stops, staring intensely at the symbols. These are ancient runes. While we were in the village after our last adventure, I have learned some of these from my father. These ones here are telling the story of 2 brothers and legendary warriors Bryn and Isigur, who fought the demon champion pride Argil Kor. She points at an urn on a small pedestal. It seems that the ashes of Isigur have been retrieved by a seer and brought here centuries ago. So replacing tile 18A, which goes there. We gain 1 silver. We gain 1 rune stone. We unlock law 08. Okay, so we had, during setup, we placed some piles of cards over there that says locked and removed tier 1 events. Is this one of those?
No, for this we would need the party sheet, which...
right, okay.
The rule book, which looks like this.
Yep.
And we could mark the law in here, so there's a law section on there.
There you go. So the party sheet. So law, we would mark law 8.
Exactly. So there's 2 boxes there. The one on the left side is just that we've unlocked it, and then the second one is for when we've read it. Because law elements are essentially kind of story bits that aren't crucial for us to play this chapter. But if we want to know a bit more about the world, the background, or in this case, kind of some of the story of the 2 brothers there that it tells on the wall, we can then read that, and we may read it now, or we could read it later.
Right.
We skip that for now to not spoil too much, but just to point out how that would work, there is like a separate law section in here where we could see different, like these things with the enemy story on there, where we could learn about their story and what has actually happened to the person in the urn.
Right, nice. And then it says set aside the amulet of ferocity. because that's lost its power. It cannot be used for the rest of this chapter. Do you want to take the urn? If yes, read verse 109. Otherwise, continue elsewhere. Remember to move the time tracker. Well, there's nowhere else to go from here. So if we don't take the urn, then that's it for this bit. And I can't remember. What was it that Coruscant said?
He said that there is some evil in this cave that we need to stop.
Okay, and we've gone through the portal, so there's nothing else for us to do.
Oh, so
Well, there's nothing else for us to do, but metagaming it, I know that something's going to happen in 2 more explorations time. So this is my next question to you, as from a game design point of view. Can you just choose to say we're not going to explore anywhere and just advance the time?
no.
Right. Okay. So you've got to explore somewhere. Okay. Let's pick up the urn. Ink a penny. See what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Seeing you reaching for the urn, Enik grabs your wrist, a stern look on her face. Stop! Disturbing the dead is a serious offence, not taken lightly by the gods. Tora nods, while Arn seems more curious than worried. Do you still want to take the urn? Well, I'm going to say no. I will bow to your better judgment, and I'm not going to take the urn. But obviously, when people do get this game, and you do take the urn, let me know. Let me know what happens. So yeah, we're gonna continue elsewhere and see what else happens. Right. So I'm just working out where else we can go. We've only got one more place to go, I think, and that's here. So we'll explore E. Right. E says, place map tile 7A and read verse 125. So 7A is going here. Aha. It's opened up there. 125. Right. If you have not yet triggered event token 2, we have. But if we hadn't, and an impassable magic barrier blocks the path ahead. In that case, place an exhaust token on G. Which is G, which basically means you can't get through there. Okay, but because we have had event 2, we are drawing a tier 2 event. Now, are the tier 2 events more dangerous than the tier 1 events? Is there a reason why they're separate?
Yes, they're separate because not all, but most of the tier 2 events offer either some choices or even some quests that we can resolve. Let's see which one we got, and then so maybe we even have a quest there.
Okay, it says you find a silver vein that is easily accessible, but it would take some time and effort to get the material out and bring it back. Place this card next to this map tile. And as a quest, one hero may be placed here during the next positioning step. They must then exhaust 1 skill, but if they do, they get 3 silver. So there's a rich silver vein on that tile. Right. Now, is that it? It says draw a tier 2 event. So there isn't anything. G doesn't lead to anywhere.
Oh, no, it should have should have led us somewhere else.
Unless I've missed something.
This whatever.
Let's just have a look, see if I missed anything. Ah, yeah. Place map tile 9A. No, hang on a minute. Sorry, no, this is 7A. We've not been here yet. It's this one.
Yeah.
I'm getting it all wrong. We've done this one. That's that. Now we need to advance the time token. And then we explore G, which says place map tile 9A. Oh, so this is going to lead to either here or here. That's mine. And we read verse 101. You enter a round cave, and the first thing you notice is a foul stench like rotten eggs in the air. In its centre, you see a stone pillar, around 4 meters high and at least 1 meter in diameter. On the ground around it, you see some runestones. The stones and the pillar are encased by a fog glowing in an eerie red light. A trail of this fog seems to be flowing into the southward cave system. There is another exit to the east, but it lies in total darkness. Arn's eyes narrow as he sees the red light. On my travels, I once came across a shaman that was performing a summoning ritual where I also encountered this kind of glowing mist, but it was a glowing blue, and he was calling on the help of some healing spirits. He gives you a grim smile. I doubt we are lucky enough that whatever is creating this wants to help mend our wounds. While still deciding what to do, you hear a menacing, high-pitched giggle, almost like a scream, and see a creature walking through the trails of mists from the southern cave. It is a kobold, but its eerie dead eyes stare at you while you can feel a forceful aura from the cave behind it. Welcome, Harkon, son of Orwyn and Enic. Son of Orwyn and Enic, daughter of Phaedred. Coming to solve the mystery of your visions? What, mortals, did you think only Osther can grant the power of sight? Fear not, your time will come soon, child of Tarek. With these words, he turns around and disappears in the red mists. If you've already triggered event E3, which we haven't, continue exploring. Otherwise, read verse 116. 116. You give chase after the kobold seer, axe in hand, but bounce off an invisible barrier just before you reach the passage and fall to the ground. You dust off your clothes as you stand up and test the barrier. It doesn't budge, so there must be another way. Place an exhaust token on M. You can't explore here until it is removed. Remove it during the next rewards phase. Place the fallen kobold seer elite enemy. So this is our elite enemy for this one. We place this on tile 7A, which replaces the regular enemy that spawns here in the next phase. Okay, so instead of a normal enemy spawning on 7A, it is going to be the fallen kobold seer instead. Who is? Let's just find his little token. There it is. That's not there yet, but that's going to be there. Continue exploring. Right. Now we move the time tracker, which means we have now triggered timed event 3, which I'm suspecting is going to be another battle. Timed event 3. Read 118. You think you hear something beyond the tunnels, just as Arn turns around and starts running towards the entrance. They are coming! Let's move, he shouts over his shoulder. Right, start the preparation step. So we've got our second combat. Right. So we have a pause, we go back out and we do some spending of resources. So we have, let's just have a look at what we've got. We've got 4 rune stones and we've got 7 silver. Yeah. So...
And there's there are 2 options that we haven't spoken about yet in terms of how we can spend our resources.
Yep.
The one thing is that we can spend 1 silver to fully heal a hero.
Right. Yeah. Revive stroke heal a hero.
Yeah. So we could theoretically heal me to full hit points for 1 silver if we wanted to. And the second thing is we can also rebuild a trap that has been destroyed, which isn't currently relevant. So. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they're the other things that we didn't do earlier, but are also possible.
Yeah.
Well, I think definitely spend 1 silver to heal you back to full. So our silver's gone down to 6. I've got you back on 5 health. So both of us are on full health. Right. Yeah. Okay, so we do have some other items that have appeared in the shop. We have this Valkyrie potion. So when you get knocked out, you actually heal yourself for 4 and move 2. It's really good, but it's 3 silver.
Yeah.
We don't have enough for a ballista trap, so we can forget that one. We do have enough for a rune trap, but if we buy the rune trap, that's all of our silver gone, which means we're not buying any items.
Yeah. As we're going into this, one thing I would recommend is for us to just take a brief look at the enemy that we've spawned. It may impact our buying decisions. Okay.
So this is the Fallen Kobold Seer. It's undead. It has armor 2. It's going to target anything with an attack of 4, range 1, and then against a different target, anything attack 2. And at the end of its turn, if it defeated a trap or hero, place a token here. And then on the Seer's next turn, remove this token and skip his attacks and move. Okay, so basically, if he kills a trap or a hero, he misses his next turn.
Yes, and he has, I think, 7 hit points, if I'm correct.
With 2 heroes, he's going to have 7 health, yes.
Yes, and he's armor 2, so all attacks against him will be reduced by 2,
Yeah.
unless we have fears. And the other thing, undead. Undead means that we can use heals against him as attacks, and these heals will also ignore armor.
Nice. Okay, yeah, I mean, thematically that makes sense. But this is where my whetstone is going to come in handy. And I've got Pierce as special attacks on my character anyway.
Yeah.
So I think my character is going to be pretty good at taking that on.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, lots of choices.
Mm-hmm.
Just having a look at these items. I do quite like the idea of a healing kit. Oh, we've also got fortifications as well. So, because we're going to get even more enemies now, because we've got so many more tiles that we've explored. What was it to fortify? Three runestones. I think it's probably worth it. If we spend 3 runestones, not exactly sure where to fortify, but I'm going to fortify. Let's fortify here. So as you say, that removes the normal spawning for the tile, but we're still going to get one because of this token. So that means we're going to get 4 enemies down here. Over here, we're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, although that one's already there. So we're going to get 5 random enemies and that one. That does only leave us 1 runestone. I'm thinking, if it's okay with you, spending 2 silver and the remaining runestone and those 2 parts to have another level 2 spike trap.
Okay, yeah.
Which we put... I'm thinking here. And then those spike traps might actually deal mostly with what comes through. We'll see. We'll see what it is. Right, we've got 4 silver left, so I'm now looking at items. Or we could buy another spike trap. We could just buy a basic spike trap.
Yeah, or a blade trap, basically.
Or a blade trap.
Be available for 4 silver.
I think a spike trap. I think if we buy the last spike trap and put it with the blade trap, so that's 2 silver. So we've got 2 silver left. Is there anything here that we want to buy for 2 silver? I'm thinking maybe the kobold dagger and the healing kit. Kobold dagger and the healing kit. That's all of our silver spent. So now that I've got this focused heal, I'm not sure this matters, but if I take the kobold dagger and you take the healing kit, the reason why I'm thinking that is I've got this whetstone. So what I could do is I could activate the whetstone. That gives me pierce for the whole of my turn, and then that kobold dagger is an extra 1. Yeah. So there you go.
The only thing is, like, I mean, I would even maybe give you the healing kit because I have like 2 heal on the bottom and 1 heal in the top row, so I have more heal than you have. So
yeah, but then Harkon gets a reputation for being selfish and greedy.
Yeah, but like he's the main story hero here, so
okay, like, that's fine with me. Fine. Right. Okay. So we've done the shopping. Next, reshuffle the enemy deck, and we're now going to spawn them on the map tiles. Okay, so we're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, you said that we should do this in a particular order, but since all of these are unique, does it really matter?
No, it's mainly because so you don't forget any space.
Right.
So
okay.
Here you could place them in a different way.
I should shuffle the old ones in. So we're going to get some of the enemies that we saw earlier on. but we might get some other ones as well. I'm just going to have to move that to there and that to there. That to there. Okay, right, here we go. So first of all, yeah, we're going to get one here, and it is going to be the Kobold Archer. Let's try and find the Kobold Archer. There you go. There's Kobold Archer. Then we have the Demon Bear. Ouch, that's quite big. So this has got, with 2 players, it's got 12 health. It targets the gate with an attack of 3. So it's just another one like the cave worm that's just going to move towards the gate and try and destroy the gate. We have the Kobold Bomber. We know how that works. That's going to go on there. I'll put the other health on in a minute. And we have the Magma Wolves Pack. So it's a horde. So that's a new keyword that we've not seen before.
Yeah.
And how does that one work?
So the horde is actually consisting of multiple small enemies, which means that each attack can only take down, so to speak, one enemy, which means all attacks get reduced to 1.
Right. Okay.
So we need multiple attacks against that one to take them out.
Yeah, that's got 5. That's got 5. And that's got 5. Right, so over here, we're doing this one first. I'm going to move that out of the way now. So we have a Kobold Trapper. Don't like the Kobold Trappers. Kind of using our traps against us.
Yeah. So it's a good thing you spread out all those traps nicely on the right side, so wherever we are, he's not going to feel like he doesn't do anything.
The Spearman. The Fallen Seer is there. We've got the Drogo Horde, so it's an undead horde. It's like a horde of zombies. And then we've got 2 at the top. So we have a Kobold Warrior there, and a Kobold Thief. So that's a new one. It's a Kobold Warrior who has evasion. We need to get the evasion token out. Right. Kobold Thief is that one. So if Thief is on gate, then exhaust 1 item.
Yeah, at the start of his turn. So when he starts his turn there, he has one of our items.
It's immune to traps and it moves 3. Wow.
Yep.
Okay, so it's got 5 health. It's got 5. So it looks like all the kobolds have 5 in a 2-player game.
Yeah, since they're all kobolds, most of them have the same amount of starting hit points, except for the Seer, who has 7. And the Frost Caller also had 4. So
yeah, okay. I think that's all of the enemies on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Right.
We still need the for the Spearman, I think.
What have I done with the Spearman? Spearman was here.
Yep. So that one needs an evasion token.
It does. There you go. Okay, so we have this Silver Vein. So 1 hero may be placed during the next positioning step. If they do, they exhaust 1 skill, but in the reward step, we're going to gain 3 silver. I'm happy with that. I'm happy starting there because I've got lots of pierce attacks and that would be good against the Fallen Kobold Seer.
Okay.
So I start there. I'm going to exhaust 1 of my skills. And I'm going to exhaust... yeah. Well, I've not actually used the Thorn Mail, so I'm going to exhaust it. There you go. So yeah, so I'm busy mining some silver while we're there. Where would you like to start?
So I would probably start like 1 space to the left. Oh, let me just think. I mean, we have on the right side we have the archer who will start shooting at Corazon on his 2nd turn, which is
so it'd move to there, and then it would just stay there and start shooting at Corazon.
Yeah, but maybe just place me one step to the one to the left side. Is okay.
On there?
Yeah, there's
okay.
There's good.
Right, so enemy turns. And if there's anything like last time, we got absolutely... Well, that's because there was an assassin out, and there isn't this time. So we'll see what happens. So this archer targets a hero within 2, can't do that, so it moves. And because it doesn't have fast, it doesn't do anything. So that's that one done. Then we have the demon bear that simply just moves towards the gate. That's that one done. Then we have the goblin bomber, which again just moves towards the gate. And then we have the magma wolves that are trying to target a hero. But again, there's no hero, so they just move as well. Right, that's all them done. Nice and easy. Yep. Over here, we start here, and then we go to here next. So we have the Kobold Trapper. On the start of its turn, 1 hero anywhere on a map tile with a trap. No. Excellent. Right.
Not this.
It's going to move to there.
Yep.
So the Kobold Trapper moves to there. Then we do the Kobold Spearman. Targets anything with an attack of 2, but it doesn't have range. Yep. So it just moves to there, and it's not fast. Then we have the Fallen Kobold Seer, which is going to attack anybody for attack 4 within range 1.
Yep.
So that's me. So I'm straight away down to 2. But then it says that it will attack a different target, and there isn't another different target, so it doesn't.
Yep.
And then at the end of its turn, if it defeated a trap or a hero, which it didn't, right, so that's that done. Then we have the Draugr Horde, which there's nothing there, so they move to here. I'm starting to regret that decision of staying where I was. But they move to there, and that's them done. Then we go to here, the Kobold Warrior. No hero anywhere nearby, so it moves to there. And then the Kobold Thief moves 3. So it's trying to target the gate. It goes 1, 2, 3. So that is on the same space as you. Let's just move this down a bit. Kobold Thief is there. Okay. I think that's it.
All right.
Right. So the traps. We have this trap, which does nothing. Then we have this trap. So this is a level 2 spike trap, which is going to do attack 2 with pierce. On the Kobold Archer, it's just 2 damage. Yeah. Then we've got these 2 traps. Now, which trap do we do first, or can we choose?
We can choose which trap goes first.
So we've got we've got a level 1 spike trap, which is attack 1 with pierce. So what have we got? We've got the Kobold Trapper.
Yeah, but he's trap immune.
Yeah, so we can't do that one. So it's the other one. So this is actually quite easy because the Blade Trap is 4 attacks at 1. And then the Spike Trap is 1 attack of 1 with pierce. So it's 5 attacks at 1. The first one gets rid of the evasion. And the remaining 4 hit it for 1 damage each. So I think that Kobold Warrior is on 1 health. And that's the traps done.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm going to have a word with this Fallen Kobold Seer. So if I use my Whetstone, then we're saying that for the whole of my turn, I've got Pierce.
Yes.
Now, am I able to do 7 damage to it? Probably not. No, I am. I am definitely able to do 7 damage to it. Because I do my ultimate double attack, which is attack 2 followed by attack 3. So that's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Now, do I just do that and kill it? But I think so. Yeah, I think I just engage it and kill it.
You first need to do your top row skill before you can do your bottom
row. Oh, I do.
Skill.
I need to do my top row skill. So my top... Oh, I've got a quick slash on there. Ah, right. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the quick slash, which is attack 2. So that kills the Fallen Kobold Seer. Right. So that's the main bad guy out, gone. Then as my bottom row skill, I'm going to do cleave, which is 2, attack 1. And you were saying that because this is a horde, every single attack is just 1 damage. So because I've done 2 separate attacks, is that down by 2?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. And then I'm going to use my healing kit to heal 1 back up to 3, because otherwise I die next turn.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense.
And I'm going to save my Kobold Dagger for now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, right.
Okay.
Your go.
Sounds like a successful turn.
It does, yeah.
Okay, so what am I going to do? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to call upon Firndal, the World Tree, and use one of Firndal's roots, which is one of my ultimate abilities, which is an attack 3 pierce. I don't mind the pierce, but attack 3 anywhere on the map. So
Anywhere.
one of the roots is actually going to kill the archer on the top right side because it's an attack 3.
Yep.
And it should be enough to get rid of him so he doesn't start shooting our seer.
Done. Right, that's that gone.
Because if the seer gets shot, we lose the game, so that's not so good. And then let's see, we have the Kobold, what is it? Kobold Warrior next to me. He only has 1 hit point, so I would say I will use my Fix It.
Yep.
To do an attack 1 at range 1 to take him out.
Kobold Warrior is dead.
And then I have the Trapper in my space, which I will just use and engage against. So he will...
It's the Thief on your space.
Not the Trapper, right? The Thief. I will deal 2 damage to the Thief.
Just with an engage, 2 damage. Okay. We have Coruscant, but Coruscant can't do anything because there's nobody on his space.
Yep. So that's it.
Right. Okay. So enemies.
Mm-hmm.
So nothing there, nothing there, nothing there. We have the bear. The bear moves to there. And we have the Kobold Bomber that moves to there. And we have the Magma Wolves that move to there. Right. So that's them done. Then we do the Kobold Thief, which isn't interested in you. So it just moves towards the gate. And now that it's on the gate, at the start of its turn, we're going to exhaust 1 item.
Yep.
So I need to use this Kobold Dagger before the start of my turn, otherwise I'm effectively going to lose it.
Yep, pretty much.
Okay, right, so that's that one done. Then we have the Kobold Trapper. Now, this wants to target a trap. So it doesn't move. And it's going to target a trap, and it's going to attack it for 2. Now, do these traps, do they degrade in their functionality when they take damage, or are they operating at full strength until they're completely gone?
No, they will still do the same thing until they are completely gone.
Okay.
The thing with, like, if there's multiple targets for an enemy, with heroes, we could decide on the target, but with traps, enemies will always target the one with the lowest hit points.
Oh, right.
So,
okay. So with no choice, it just does 2 damage to the spear, the spike trap.
Yes.
Okay. And it had an ability at the start, but that didn't trigger because none of us were with traps. Right. Now, Kobold Spearman doesn't have range, so it just moves to there. Then we have the Drogo Horde. They target me, they attack me, they deal 2 damage to me. I'm down to 1 health.
Mm-hmm.
That's it, I think, for the enemies. Okay, so traps. That trap does nothing. This trap is attack 2 with Pierce. So the Demon Bear takes 2 damage. It's down to 10 health.
Mm-hmm.
Over here, what have we got? We've got the Trapper that's immune to traps, so we can forget that one. We have the Spearman. It's the same as last time. It's 5 attacks of 1, and it has evasion. So the evasion is used, and it takes 4 damage. That's the traps done. Right, our go. So, I need to use this Kobold Dagger or lose it, unless you're able to kill the Kobold Thief, but I'm probably going to use it anyway. So we'll use the Kobold Dagger to just deal 1 damage to the Drogo Horde. Yeah, I've not got an attack on the top, and I probably need to do a focused heal on the bottom. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to tactically run away.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I was to move here, for example, where would the Drogo Horde go? Would they go towards the nearest one?
No, it's always movement is always towards the gate map.
Always
tile.
towards
So
the gate. So if I went
Disappear.
here, I could stay here for a bit, have a lie down, read a good book, and then come back later.
And just let handle the remaining 6 or 7 enemies. So what we got there, yeah.
Yeah. No, I think I'll sprint 2 to get to there, and then I'm going to do focus heal to go back up to 3. I am really happy I took that. I mean, I do have spot weakness, but it's a bit of a waste because it's attack 3, and against a horde that would only kill one of them. So, yeah. Okay, so that's me done. What do you want to do?
Let me see what I want. What do I want to do?
Well, we can. While you're thinking, Coruscant can put bleed 1 on the Kobold Thief.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Same done.
So I would probably move 1 space to the left, so I'm on the same space as the Kobold Trapper.
Yep.
And advance, and then on the bottom row, I will just simply use engage to deal 2 damage to the Spearman, so he's gone.
Spearman is gone.
Suffer 2 from the Spearman.
That's this one. Okay, right. All done. Next round. So we've got the Thief. The Thief is on the gate map tile at the start of its turn, so we exhaust 1 item, but we can't. And then it attacks the gate for 1. Done. Then we do the Bear, which moves to here. Then we do the Bomber, that moves to here. And then we do the Magma Wolves, that move to here. So that's all of those done. That was quite easy. Next we have the Trapper. So the Trapper's going to stay where it is because it wants to target traps. Is that right? Or yeah. And it's always going to attack the lowest one. So this trap is destroyed.
Yes, but you leave the trap in place and just remove the die.
Right, because we bought it.
So
got it. Okay, so that's that done. And then the Horde move 1 space towards us, and that's them done. Right, traps. We have the Spike Trap, deals 2 damage. Is 2 damage? Yeah, 2 damage to the Bear, so that's that done. The other Spike Trap deals 2 damage to the Bomber. So the Bomber was on 5, that's down to 3. We've got this trap, but it's a Trapper, so he's immune to traps.
Yeah.
So that doesn't do anything. That's the traps done. And then it's our turn.
Yes.
So, well, I'm on 3 health. So
we forgot one damage to the Kobold.
Oh, we did at the end of its turn. Yeah, he's bleeding. Thank you. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go move 1 with armor 1, and then I'm gonna do my cleave. So attack 1, attack 1. And that's it. I'm just slowly getting through this horde of undead creatures.
Yeah. One thing that I just want to suggest one thing, because we usually would have seen the Demon Bear beforehand, and the Demon Bear's attack 3, and he still has quite some hit points left. I don't do that much damage. I'm not sure if I can take him on my own.
Okay.
Let me just because if you go for the Horde, it will take some time for you to get back. Let's see how much damage I can do. I can do 3 per turn. He has how much health has he left? 8?
He's got 8 health left.
Okay. So if I went there now...
Yeah, you're right. I wouldn't be able to...
To the gate either this turn or next turn to start attacking the Demon Bear.
Let's undo that then. I was on that. I do that. And I was on that. So, yeah, I didn't actually move. Right, okay. So, change of plan. I go move 1 armor 1, but I move on to here. And then instead, I will do... so what I could do is I could just do engage and my other ultimate to get rid of the Kobold Trapper.
Yeah, you could do that. The only thing that would be the downside of that would be that you would only get back 1 of the ultimates.
Yes.
So I'm not saying you shouldn't do it. I'm just
I'm going to do that because this trapper's annoying me. So there we go. Right. So that change of plan, I went that way instead and did that. Okay. we're good.
Because then I'm going to sprint towards the gate, so I'm already in position for the demon bear next turn, and which is move 2 towards the gate. And then I can actually, now I have the bow shot, I can even shoot him with an attack 2 already, so he gets, I take him down 2 hit points. So
yeah, because I'm less bothered about this thief. It's only dealing 1 damage to the gate each time.
Yeah. So
Bow shot?
I would ignore thief for now. Also, yeah, so bow shot at the demon bear, so the demon bear suffers 2 damage.
2 damage. We've also got the kobold bomber coming in. Now the kobold bomber is here on 3. Next turn it's going to move to here and going to take 2 from this trap. It'll be down to 1.
Yep. Yeah, so we can decide like if he should destroy one of the traps or if he should deal 3 to the gate instead. But one of these is definitely going to happen.
Yeah.
And then we have Corazon who will do another bleed on the kobold thief. So
it's bleeding for 2, which means it will die at the end of its turn.
Yep.
Right, nice. Okay. And it is now their turn. So the kobold thief first deals 1 damage to the gate.
Brings us down to how
13.
much is it now? 13?
13. Okay. That's that done. Then the bear moves on to here. The bomber moves on to here. And the wolves move on to there. And then over here, we just have the horde, which move to there. And then at the end of the kobold thief's turn, it dies from bleeding. Okay, so that's that gone. But none of them attacked. So now we do the traps. So this trap does 2 damage to the goblin bomber. That trap does nothing because there's nobody there. And now it's our go. So if I sprint and go to here, and then I do overpower, that's 3 on the bear. 1, 2, 3.
Okay. Perfect.
Corazon can put a bleed 1 on the bear.
Yeah. But I think I'm going to do the throw flask, which doesn't attack 1 to the bear, and I will heal you for 1.
Okay, so I heal for 1. I'm back up to 4. 1 damage on the bear.
And then I will do an engage on the bear, which is an attack 2, so that to take the bear out.
Bear is dead.
We don't suffer the attack 3 to the gate.
Okay. Magma. So that's us done.
Yep.
Next, we have the kobold bomber. So that moves to there. The magma wolves move to there. The horde move to there. Nobody attacks because everybody moved. So now these traps deal 2 damage to the wolves pack, but because it's a horde, is that just that's just 1, isn't it?
Yes.
Because it's 1 single attack at 2. Yes.
Right.
That's that trap. But this is 4 different attacks on the horde, which is awesome. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's only got 1 health left.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, so that's the traps done. Now, we don't really want this bomber to blow up where we are. with us both here anyway.
Yep, so I mean we only have the kobold bomber and the magma wolves left right now.
And the horde, the Drogo horde, but they've only got 1 health.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to move 1 with armor 1 to here. And then do 2 attacks on the wolves.
Nice.
Knocking them down to 2.
Okay, I think I'm also going to move outside that space, so I'm going to move 1 to the right as well, to the magma wolves with the advance. And then I'm going to bow shot the kobold bomber, I think. Oh no, he's going to. Well, yeah, he would do another damage to the gate, so yeah, why not bow shot him?
Oh, so bow shot him before he deals the damage to the gate.
Yeah, well, I bow shot him. Yeah, so he doesn't do his attack 1.
No,
so
but he does blow up. He deals 3 damage to Corazon and 3 damage to the gate.
Yeah, I mean, with all the explosions going on in Corazon's space, I think he looks a little burned by now. Like,
right, so that's all of our attacks done. And now we go back over to their turn. So the magma wolves. Oh, we need to get rid of the bomber. So the magma wolves move to there. The horde moves to there.
The magma wolves actually perform attack against players.
Oh, sorry, they're against players, aren't they? Yeah, they're not. So yeah, so they do an attack 2, and it says after attacking, all heroes in range 0 suffer exhaust. So we're going to lose a skill. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And we can choose who they attack.
Yes.
I'm happy for that to be on me.
Okay, excellent.
So I take the 2, and then we both have to exhaust a skill.
Yes.
So I'm going to exhaust my engage.
Yeah, I'm going to exhaust my engage as well.
You've got 2 engages, yeah. Okay, so that's them done. Traps.
No, the horde, the Draugr horde actually, because it has target anything, it wouldn't move. It would stay in the same space.
Yes. Sorry, yes. I forgot they go for anything, don't they? So they've done 2 damage on the blade trap. Right. Okay. So now it's the traps. That trap does A damage to the magma wolves. Yeah, unfortunately, you've used your bow shot now. So yeah, we can't get rid of those.
Well, yeah, the trap does 4 times attack 1 against.
Oh, the trap's gonna.
Draugr.
Of course. I forgot about the trap. Yes. So the trap gets rid of them.
Yep.
That's them completely gone. So all we've got now is this one enemy. And he's got 1 health left. So I'm going to do a quick slash. And that's gone. But we finished that round.
You can still perform your skills. So maybe, I don't know how much hit points you currently have left.
I've just used my focus heal. So I'm now back to 4.
Okay. And I'm going to use, I don't know, Throw Flask and Arthur's Blessing, which brings you to maximum hit points. Because I'm at full hit points anyway, so...
yeah, or you could heal...
Corazon.
I can heal for 1.
And I can heal you for 2.
And me for 2. There you go. Teamwork. Awesome.
All right.
Right, so we now go to rewards. So we check the quest board. The quest says quest number 2. So we read... 124, which says, you look around you. The demons that came at you are dead, but a faint smell of sulfur seems to hang in the air. By Osther, you need to hurry. I can feel the dark energies increasing. If you have found Corazon, restore his hit points to full. Okay, nice. If he dies, this no longer causes you to lose this scenario. So from now on, he can die, and we don't lose. Right. Each hero resets 1 ultimate ability. So I'm going to reset my double attack. You reset your Findariel's roots. Reset used items. So get all of my items back. Remove skill tokens and status tokens. These all come off.
Yeah. By the way, you can never have more than 2 exhaust tokens, so 2 would be the maximum for those.
Oh, okay. Right. That comes off. That comes off. Level up. Right, so at this point, you get to explain how the level 3 skills work.
Yes, so level 3 skills, we draw the same amount as before, so player number +2, but now we can place those. They have an indicator on the top right, which indicates in which row they can be placed, top, bottom, or both. And they can just be placed over any skill that we have in our tableau.
Right.
So it could be the ones that we leveled or one of the pre-existing ones on our tableau.
Okay, so let's have a look at what we've got. There's this little arrow, I see. Right, so we have Retribution, which is a lower row skill for attack X or retaliate X, where X is your missing hit points. Nice. We've got an upper row skill of move 3, attack 1, down lower row skill of barbed arrow, attack 3, range 2, and a lower row skill of combat heal 1 and attack 3. So some really nice abilities here. I think for me, I'm missing a ranged attack. So if it's okay with you, I'm going to take the barbed arrow.
Okay.
And I'm going to put it there. So which one of those would you like?
Okay, let's see. Having the combat heal might be really nice because I don't have like strong attacks. Dash is also like super fast. Retribution, probably not that good for me because
No.
I could only go up to. So maybe I go with Retribution. Could be fun. Yeah, let me go with Retribution.
Okay. And what skill are you going to overwrite?
I'm just going to override one of the engage.
One of the engages? Yeah. Okay, there you go. There's level 3. And level 3 skills presumably are the highest level of skills?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Also in the reward step, because I went mining, I'm getting 3 silver. Yes. And we're also going to get another 6 silver. That puts us up to 9. And 2 runestones. We get 2 items added to the cart. So we've got a horned helmet and a hunter's bow. And we gain 3 more trap components. We've drawn 3 more gear.
Yeah. And we need to remove the exhaust token at the bottom of the map tile.
That one there. Right. Okay. That's it for the rewards. So now we continue with phase 1 exploration. And we can now go these 2 places. So which was the one that was exhausted? It was M, wasn't it? So I think M is where we're going to go. Read verse 103. If you have the Coruscant follower card in play, we do. Read 119. You are able to walk through the thick mists, but the smell of rotten eggs gets heavier and heavier. Ahead of you there is a large pentagram drawn across the cave floor, at the top of which the Kobold Seer is standing, both arms raised upward. Just as you take a step forward, the red mist streaming towards the centre of the pentagram, where it swirls around only to manifest itself in a solid form, a brutal, towering shape of a demonic, vaguely humanoid creature with deadly teeth and claws. You hear the high-pitched giggle again as the seer's eyes focus you. Who needs prophecies when I can kill you right here and become the strongest of all? Kill them! As he speaks these words, the towering demon turns towards you, eyes burning red, and it starts to step in your direction. In that moment, a black portal opens next to you, and Coruscant steps out of it, leaning heavily on a crude staff. You should not even be walking these plains anymore, demon. The mistress of your domain was banished centuries ago, and today I will stop you as well, once and for all. Place map tile 16A on M, which is there. And take out the boss tableau. Now, you showed me this just before we started, but we decided to keep it secret from people. But yeah, this is... Press the wrong button. Let's press that button. There you go. So this is the boss tableau, which you will be told to get at the appropriate point in the story. And this is the one for this chapter. So we're going to place the standee for Dor Quarath, Claw of Yas Thorna on this map tile. Place Coruscant on this map tile. He can only be targeted by Dor Quarath, Claw of Yas Thorna. During the combat phase, all other enemies will ignore him. Place the Fallen Kobold Seer enemy on map tile 7A. This replaces the regular enemy spawn here, and we start the preparation phase. So we're going into our final battle, I guess. I'm just going to put that there. No, I'm going to have to put that here. And what did it say? It said to place that. I'm going to have to put these enemies back, aren't I? All right, where is it? Is it that? No, is it that? It's that. Right, so this is on this map tile.
Yep.
Coruscant is also on this map tile. Yeah. Okay. The Fallen Kobold Seer must be another one because I got rid of his brother. So the Fallen Kobold Seer, where's that gone? There it is. So the Fallen Kobold Seer is popping up there again. And I think that's it. Now we do the setup as normal.
Yeah, we can also theoretically, if you want to, we could always already place the hit point tokens on there.
Yes.
For them.
So if Coruscant is in play, he will always move towards Coruscant instead of the gate as long as he's alive. And his starting hit points for 2 characters is 36. So 36. Definitely a boss. And that one was 7.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll also need another of these tokens to place near the boss board because he has an action rotation system in his tableau. So the
Right.
boss will
Okay.
be like that. Exactly. So we won't need it right now, but later on he will start
Okay.
doing all that.
That's fine. So the rules for bosses, presumably this is in the rule book, and it tells us
Yes.
which one of these we do. Right. Okay. Got it. So let's go through the enemies again, and let's. Oh no! Well, we do preparation. So
Yes.
we've got a chance to spend our resources first. We've got 9 silver. That's pretty good. Now we've got a trap that we can repair. Is that right?
We could repair a trap, but that costs 3 silver, which is extremely expensive. So in this specific case, when you have just a destroyed spike trap which costs only 2 silver to build, we can just destroy it and just rebuild it.
Cheaper to build a new one, isn't it?
So for this specific trap, it doesn't really make sense to rebuild. But for most others, it does.
Okay. Because this blade trap is actually 2 hit points down.
Yeah.
But yeah, whether it's worth rebuilding it or not, I'm not sure. We've only got 2 runestones, so that's not enough to fortify another map tile.
Yep.
Okay.
We do have a lot of gear, so we can theoretically upgrade. We could definitely upgrade a blade trap, or we could. We have a crystal. We could upgrade like the what is it called, the rune trap.
The rune trap. We do have a rune trap, which is pierce and attack, but I quite like these blade traps, especially against hordes and especially against the ones with evasion. So I'm tempted to just keep it simple and have another blade trap and fully upgrade it. So that will cost us 4 silver. And it will cost us 1 runestone and 1 gear, and then another runestone and 2 gears. So that's 3 gears in total spent, and we have a level 3 blade trap. That now we can have. Did you say you can have a maximum of 2 traps, but not 2 the same? Is that right?
You can have 2 of the same. So if you want it, we can place it now.
What do you think? I'm thinking either the blade trap here or here.
I'm open for both.
Okay, let's go with that one. And I'm hoping that these traps alone might deal with most of the stuff that comes up here. I mean, we've also got 5 silver left, so we could spend them on a spike trap, just a basic spike trap.
Yeah, why not? Sounds good.
Okay, so that puts us down to 3, and I think we'll put that spike trap there. And we've got 3 silver left. There are some more items. So there is the Talisman of Aether, Armor 2, Heal 2. There is the Valkyrie Potion, which is quite cool. When you get knocked out, you immediately get fall back. I'll let you grab some items because I've got all of the items currently.
Okay, I mean, since I've got already 2 ranged skills, I would probably like to take the bow because I really like to go for ranged attacks now, so I can do a full range turn. Okay. So that would be really cool.
That's 2 silver. We've got 1 silver left.
So essentially, there's only the hammer to buy for that, I think. So.
But that's repair 2, so that will help get us this blade trap back to full.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've done the preparation. Reshuffle the enemy deck, which I have. Right, off we go. Let's see what enemies we've got this time.
Yep.
I think we might have seen all of the enemies in this, although, yeah, maybe not. We'll see. So over here we have the Kobold Spearman. In fact, I'm just going to do the cards first, and then we'll do the miniatures in a minute. Kobold Bomber, Kobold Trapper, and Cave Worm. Right, and then should be this. I'll just deal them here because I'm not going to forget. Kobold Assassin, Kobold Frostcaller. That's the Demon Bear. That's the Kobold Archer. That is the Kobold Seer. That's the Kobold Warrior. Now, do we spawn one here as well or not?
On which on the boss map tile? No.
Yeah. So right, okay, because it says specifically we don't put one here, but we don't put one here because that's the boss. Right. Okay. So what have we got? We have. Is this one on? This one's not on. This one is. So this is a Kobold Trapper that was there with 5 health. We have the Cave Worm was here. Cave Worm has 9. We have a Kobold Bomber here with 5. We have the Kobold Spearman there, which also has 5. So that's that side done. We have a Kobold Warrior here, which is this one. We've got the Seer there. We've got the boss there. We've got the Archer, who is there. It's got 5. We have the Demon Bear there, which has where is it? 12. There you go. And then we've got my favourite one, not the Kobold Assassin.
Yep.
Who is, which one's the Kobold Assassin? That one. And then we've got the Frostcaller, who has 4 health. And the Frostcaller is that wizardy looking one. There. Is that, I mean, the Kobold Seer, Fallen Kobold Seer is there. Okay. Right, that's all of the enemies on the board.
Yeah, we need the evasion tokens for the warrior and for the spearman, and I think that's it.
So the warrior has an evasion token. The spearman has an evasion token.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, so heroes. Where are we going to start? Yeah, I mean, our objective is to just survive this battle, not just to defeat the boss. We have to get rid of everything else as well first, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it says, yeah, when Khorasan reaches 0 hit points, we read 120. Place a story marker on Khorasan's follower card as a reminder. Right, okay. So, yeah, we need to remember that if he dies, wherever he's gone, there he is. If he dies, something bad happens. Or not. And he will always move towards him instead of the gate as long as he's alive. It's going to be quite tricky to keep him alive, isn't it, I think? Is he going to do a Gandalf the Grey on us? I mean, part of me is thinking, if I start on the same space as this boss, he's going to be spending all of his time attacking Khorasan and not attacking me.
Base of the boss, you can only start on fortified map tiles. So.
Oh, that's true. You did say. Well, I'm going to start here.
Okay.
So I may have cheated in the last time we played then, because I started down here, didn't I?
No, that was possible due to the quest card that we had.
Oh, that was it. Yeah, because of the silver vein.
Yep.
Right. Okay. Didn't cheat. Good to know.
Okay. Just thinking where to start myself then. I am probably going to start on the rightmost tile, on the total right side. I think is probably best.
Here, this one.
Yeah.
Bearing in mind, we do have the Kobold Trapper.
Yep. Yeah, we have the Trapper, but we also have the Assassin and we have the Archer, so we'll be taking some damage on the first turn anyway.
We are, definitely. Okay, right. Let's see how we get on. So, phase 3, combat. Enemy turns. So we are doing. We go down here first. We go down here. We do the Kobold Spearman first. Nice and easy. Nothing to attack. Moves. Doesn't have fast.
Yeah.
So that's it. Done. Next is the Kobold Bomber. Again, very simple. Moves. Then the Kobold Trapper. So one hero anywhere on a map tile with a trap suffers 1 damage.
I mean, I could take that theoretically if we want to, or you can take that.
I mean, you've got Retribution, so you kind of want to take some damage to start with.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. I'll take it.
There's me persuading my companion to take the damage.
Yeah.
So that's the Kobold Trapper done. Then it moves to there.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Cave Worm moves to there. Right.
Yep.
That's that side done.
Mm-hmm.
Over to this side, nothing there, nothing there. We go here. The Demon Bear moves to here.
Mm-hmm.
The Kobold Archer stays where it is and shoots me for 2 damage.
Mm-hmm.
Ouch. Then the Fallen Kobold Seer is going for anything. But it goes to the gate. It goes in the direction of the gate if it doesn't have anything in its space.
Yeah.
So it moves to there. Then we have the Kobold Warrior. So even though Coruscant is counted as a hero and is nearer, it moves towards the gate.
Yeah, because Coruscant can't be targeted by other.
Oh, that's true, by anybody other than this. So off we go. What does this nasty boss thing do?
Yeah, so for that we rotate clockwise through the tableau and we start with the top left one. So we have the Terrifying Roar going first, and we place the token there. So
all
that's
heroes with missing health anywhere, which is both of us.
Mm-hmm.
We have to exhaust one of our skills, and we reduce the gate by 1 hit point.
Yes. So both of us have lost health, so we both place an exhaust token.
Mm-hmm.
And we're down to, what is it, 12 hit points on the gate? Or
9.
9? Oh, wow.
9,
right,
yeah, we were on 10. I've just dropped it down to 9.
Okay.
I'm going to get rid of my cleave 2 times 1 attack.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Horde didn't come out.
Okay, I will drop the engage.
Yeah. Right. Okay, but that's it. It doesn't attack Coruscant or anything like that. It just does the Terrifying Roar.
Yes.
Okay, so that's all of this done. Then we have the Kobold Assassin. So it moves onto the map tile with the hero with the highest hit points. We've both got 4.
I'm also at 4, so we can decide which one.
Hmm.
I would actually volunteer because why not?
Okay, so it moves there and it hits you for half your remaining health.
Yep.
So you're down to 2 because it's fast, so it can do that. And then we have the Frostcaller that has got range 1, but that's not enough, so it moves to there.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay, so traps.
Mm-hmm.
That Kobold Assassin is there. So this trap does nothing. These traps, we have a level 2 spike trap that's going to deal, do an attack of 2 with Pierce on either the Kobold Spearman or the Assassin. And then we have the blade trap that's going to do, it's fully improved, so it's going to do 4 separate attacks at 1 each.
Mm-hmm.
So we could kill the Assassin.
Yeah. So I definitely want to be rid of the Assassin, I think.
Yeah.
So
spike trap, it's 2 damage.
Yeah.
And then 1, 2, 3 with the blade trap.
Mm-hmm. And then we have a 4th attack, which we can use against the Spearman, right? Isn't that the level?
It gets rid of the evasion.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. And then over here we have on the Demon Bear we have 2 followed by 1, 1, 1, 1. So 6 damage on the Demon Bear. Nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's down to 6 health.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's it for traps. Hour go.
Mm-hmm.
Is Karasan putting bleed on this thing? I guess he is.
Yeah.
Okay. So in 36 turns time, it will die. Yay!
Yeah. Problem solved. You can go home.
Yeah, it's got a paper cut.
All right.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm going to be using my Fix-It to attack the Cobalt Bomber.
Yep.
And then I'll be using my bow shot to attack the Cobalt Bomber again for 2.
Yep.
And then I'll be using my Hunter's Bow, which is another attack 2 on the Cobalt Bomber, which takes it out.
And you can't move this turn. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I probably won't anyway, so...
Okay, nice. Cobalt Bomber dies, blows up, and there's nothing else around.
So I just want to celebrate this moment where Coruscant has not been hurt by the Cobalt Bomber for the very first time.
For the first time. Excellent. Yeah, you're all done, unless you wanted to use one of your ultimates.
Unless you want me to support you somewhere, I wouldn't.
No, I don't think so. I think we're all okay. So I've got this one attacking me with range 1, and I've got this one shooting at me with range 2. I probably want to get rid of that. Oh, I've got that. I've got the barbed arrow. It's interesting. These tiny little upgrades really do make the character a lot more powerful.
Yep.
So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to activate my ultimate. I'm going to do a double attack. I'm going to do attack 2 on the Demon Bear, plus attack 3 on the Demon Bear, and then stick it with the Kobold Dagger. Mm-hmm. That's the Demon Bear gone. Didn't have any armor, did it? No. Right. Then I'm going to... you got to do them in order.
Yep.
Got to do them in order. I think I'm going to move 1 to here with armor 1, wherever my little armor token is. And then I'm going to do overpower and attack 3. It's not quite enough.
Mm-hmm.
Not quite enough. But that's okay. I've got 1 armor, so that'll help. That'll help me against that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure. Right.
Okay.
That's me done.
Enemy turns.
Enemy turns. So starting with the Kobold Spearman, he will attack anybody or anything.
Yeah.
So does it probably prioritize hero, or do we choose?
Yeah. We probably want to choose traps, not me, because otherwise I'm dead. And then if we choose traps, he will go for the one with the lowest hit points, so he will attack that one for 2.
2 damage on the spike trap, and then it gets its evasion back.
And it does an attack 1 on another adjacent space, so it will do an attack 1 against the spike trap in the adjacent field as well.
Got it. Okay. So yeah, it's got its evasion back. Kobold Trapper. Unfortunately, you take a damage.
Yeah, brings me down to 1 hit
down
point.
To 1. Your retribution's going to be great. It's going to kill a kobold, basically. Then it moves to here. And the cave worm moves to here. Right, over here we have Kobold Archer. Can't shoot anybody, so goes to there. Then the Fallen Kobold Seer goes to there. And the Kobold Warrior goes to there. Right, so the boss. It says charge. So it rushes with 2.
Rushing means it would move towards its target regardless if it has targets in its own space. In this case, because it only moves towards Coruscant, it doesn't really change anything.
Okay.
But usually because enemies only move if they have no target in their range,
right.
He would still move even if he had one.
Okay. It does attack 2, so 2 damage on Coruscant, and then it bleeds for 1.
Yep.
Right. Then we have the Kobold Frostcaller that attacks me for 2 with a range of 1, but I've got 1 armor, so I just take the 1 damage. And presumably this armor comes off at the start of my next turn, and then I have to put it back on again? that right?
Yeah,
Right.
that's
Okay.
right. So theoretically, you would have it until you act. So by now it
Yes.
would.
So not quite yet because it's the traps next, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. So here if we do the blade trap first,
Mhm.
then that's 1 damage, which gets rid of the
Mhm.
evasion, and then another 3, and then the
Mhm.
spike trap kills it.
Yep.
Nice.
All right.
Okay.
Good defenses on that side.
Yeah. And then the rest of the traps do nothing. Right. So it's
Mhm.
us. So my armor comes off. Yeah. I think I'm just going to do quick slash focus heal.
Mhm.
Back to 5 and kill the Kobold Frostcaller. I mean,
Mhm.
it has armor 1. I may have forgotten to take that into account last time when I hit it. So I will just say that I used my whetstone last time. But this time it was on 1 health and I hit it for 2.
Ah, okay, yeah.
So yeah, this time we're fine and I just used my whetstone last time. Okay, so that's me done.
Mhm.
Right.
In that case, because then you probably have trouble killing the Kobold Seer on your side on your own, right? So it may make sense for me to move over there as well.
Possibly. I mean, I just have to hit it hard because I've got. Oh yeah, true. It's got armor 2, isn't it?
Yeah. So I think I'm going to start moving in your direction with the sprint.
Okay. So sprint
And,
for move 2.
Question is, next turn, that one's not going to move. So yeah, I'm going to be. Yeah, I will use the Arthur's Blessing on myself.
Yep. Heal 2, back to 3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's our turns done.
Mm-hmm.
Back to the
turns.
enemies. Okay, so the Kobold Trapper. Neither of us are on a space with a trap, so that's good. Kobold Trapper moves to there. Cave Worm moves to there.
Yep.
It was 9, wasn't it? Yeah. That's that done. Right, over here we have a Kobold Archer. It is within range 2 of me.
Mm-hmm.
So it hits me for 2. I don't have armor.
Yep.
So I'm down to 3. The Fallen Kobold Seer has range 1. So it moves to there.
No, he doesn't move. He can attack because he targets anything, and there's traps
he
on
can.
it. So.
Yeah, target anything. So attack 4, range 1. So it's going to attack. Both traps are on 3. So I'm going to say it gets rid of the spike trap.
Mm-hmm.
And then target attack 2 against a different target.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay, and then the Kobold Warrior joins his friends. So everybody's here having a nice, happy time.
Yeah, the Kobold Seer also gets a token placed on it, like any kind of token we can place on it, because it has destroyed a trap, so it's not going to attack or move on its next turn.
It's going to miss its next turn. I might just put it on there, actually, to remind me. Okay, so the boss, are we going clockwise round or are we going in reading order on these abilities? Clockwise order. So it's claws. Attack 3 against all targets.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, that is Khorasan deaded.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to read 120.
Mm-hmm.
If this is the first time Khorasan's hit points reaches 0, read the following verse. You see Khorasan scream and drop to his knees as the demon claws flesh. As the demon claws flesh from his bones. The giant creature towering above him raises its arms for the final blow, when suddenly Khorasan's body begins to morph, turning into a flock of ravens that fly through the tunnel. They gather near the gate, where they reshape into the form of the seer. Khorasan steps forward, paler than usual, but ready to stand his ground once more. So we place him with full hit points. Back on the gate. Other enemies will now target Khorasan as usual. Okay. And then there is rush 1. So it now starts moving towards Khorasan. And then it bleeds for 1. Did we forget?
On
that
it
should be 2, shouldn't it?
So yeah.
Yeah, so it takes another one. Okay, is that all the monsters done? I think it is.
Yeah.
Traps. So this kobold trapper is immune to traps.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay, that's it for the traps. So, our turns. I'm on 3 health.
So for me, it would be pretty simple. I would do an advance in your direction, so 1 to the left, move 1 to the left.
Yep.
And then I would do a bow shot against the kobold archer, which does an attack 2 against the kobold archer.
Yep. Okay. So I can get in and kill it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's what I'll do. I'll sprint and hit it for 3. So the kobold archer is dead. And then I'm going to use my healing kit to put me back up to 4.
Mm-hmm.
And the fallen kobold seer is not actually doing anything this turn.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we're okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hero turn's done. Back to enemies.
Yep.
So the kobold trapper is going to defeat this trap.
Mm-hmm.
And then the cave worm moves to there.
Yep.
So that's them done. Over here, we have the kobold seer that doesn't do anything because he needs a rest. And then we have the kobold warrior that attacks me for 2. So I go down to 2.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have the boss, which is feed. So attack 2. If this deals damage, it heals for 3. And then it rushes for 2. 1, 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then it bleeds for 2. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Traps. So this trap does nothing on the kobold trapper, but we do 4 lots of 1. Oh no, that's immune to traps as well. The cave worm is immune to traps. Okay, so we're going to have to sort these out. Well, we're going to have to sort out the cave worm because otherwise the cave worm is going to come here and destroy the gate.
Yeah.
Okay. Hour goes.
Yeah. So shall I go first? Because I'm probably better suited to take out the kobold seer because you don't have the. So I'm going to use sprint, which is a move 2, into your map tile on the one of the kobold seer.
Yep.
And because he's undead, that means that he can be healed ignoring armor. So I'm going to use healing balm and then Firndal's roots, which is attack 7 ignoring armor against him.
So you've got Athea's blessing, which is heal 2.
No, I'm going to use healing balm, which is heal 4, top left. And my
ultimate. Your ultimate, right?
And then I'm going to use Firndal's root, which is my other ultimate, which is attack 3
with pierce.
Ignoring armor, and that should take him out.
Nice.
And then I'm probably going to use Arthur's blessing on you and heal you for 2.
Sure. Okay. Thank you. Nice. Right. And then me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd forgotten you could heal him because he was undead. I might start going for the boss. Although the boss follows the normal rules that it can't attack on the same turn as it moves.
Yes, unless it uses rush, which means it ignores targets on its own map tile and will move towards its target, which means movement towards Coruscant in this case.
Right. Okay. It's got 5 health hit points, but it has evasion. So I can't do that much against it. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my Thorn Mail for the first time. So I have Armor 1 and I have Retaliate. So presumably anything that hits me is going to take 1 damage back.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to use the Barbed Arrow to do an attack of 3 at range 2. And I am going to do 3 damage on this. So got it down to 28 with 2 bleed. Right.
Okay.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
So
enemy turn.
That does 2 damage on that trap.
Mm-hmm.
And the cave worm moves to there.
Yeah.
Then over here, the kobold warrior hits either you or me for 2.
Ideally, it wouldn't attack me because I would potentially die the turn after.
So I will take it. But instead of the 2, I only take 1 because of my armor. But I do retaliate 1. Now, does that retaliate 1 go straight onto its hit points?
Yes, because that's damage and not an attack. It
Not
will
an attack.
ignore any defensive traits.
Makes sense. And then the boss does a terrifying roar. So we both have to exhaust an ability. But you said that we can't have any more than 2 exhaust tokens on us.
Yes.
So that's good.
I'll probably exhaust the fix it ability.
I'm going to exhaust my block. No. I think at this stage I'm going to exhaust my sprint. Yeah. Okay. So that's it. And I've knocked the gate down to 8 health. So that's not too bad. And it doesn't move this turn. It's staying where it is. Right. Traps. We have a kobold trapper that's immune to traps. We have a cave worm that's immune to traps. And we have a kobold warrior that's not the trap. So our traps aren't doing anything. And now it's our go. So how are we going to get rid of this kobold warrior? It's a pain.
I'll probably just move back for now because we have the cave worm approaching the gate, and
that's
I
true.
don't feel that we need to take care of that one first.
Yeah. Okay. So you're going to do a move 1 back.
Move 1 back, and I'm just gonna do a bow shot for the boss, which is
bow shot on the boss, 2 damage. Yeah.
Yep.
So I think. Yeah, I think I'm going to move 1 and block. And then I'm going to do focus heal and put me back on 5. Okay, right. Enemy's turn.
Yeah.
So. Oh no, it's cave worm first.
Yeah.
Which moves to the gate.
And
then we do the kobold trapper that deals 2 damage to that. And then we do the kobold warrior that moves
the kobold trapper also activates his attack 1 against one of us. Do you have
yes,
armor?
That's true. I do. I have armor.
Yeah.
So so I get attack 1, but the armor soaks it. Then he does his attack 2 on that. Then we have the kobold warrior here, so it will move to here. I'll get it to attack me. So
he doesn't attack.
Oh, it doesn't attack as it moves. Thank you. And then we have this, so it's going to rush 2 and attack 2. So it is now on our space.
Yeah.
I'll take it because I've got the 1 armor. And you're saying that this does attack on the same turn because rush counts as kind of fast? Okay, down to 4. Right. Traps. We have traps that can do something. Shall we just get rid of the kobold warrior? Oh, it's not going to quite get rid of it. It's on 4 health.
Yeah, but like the evasion is pretty annoying, so...
So I think if we 1 attack, 2, 3, putting it down to 2 health, I can then kill it with a quick slash. And then we do the other one on the boss. So that's the traps done.
Just be aware that the claws will do an attack 3 against all targets with Pierce on our map tile for the next turn.
Okay. So we might want to be off this tile.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to take it.
The attack 3?
I can take 3. I'm on 4. The problem is, by taking 3, if I then take another one from the kobold trapper's ability, then I die. Okay. The problem is I can't actually move.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do you have armor available for this turn so you can soak up the
I do.
The trapper.
I do have armor available.
Okay.
So I'm going to change the mind on the trap. We're going to give the Kobold Warrior 3 hit points left instead of 2 and do 1 more on the boss. And then I'm going to go Thorn Mail for armor 1, retaliate 1. And then Overpower for attack 3 on the Kobold Warrior.
Okay, nice.
Right. Kobold Warrior is dead. And
Okay,
that's me done.
Then we have the seer. He can do a bleed on the cave worm.
He can. Yay! 1 bleed on the cave worm.
Oh, by the way, sorry. The attack 2. Didn't we suffer an attack 2 on this turn
From
the boss? Attack 2.
Yeah, did we not do that? I think I did that. Yeah, I did that, and I had 1 armor.
He should have attacked me, not you. So
because
because essentially, like, that's the hit that I wanted to take from the enemy. So
oh right, okay. So are you saying tactically it would have been better to attack you, or rules wise it should have attacked you?
No, tactically,
Okay.
because like I totally missed that attack of that guy. So it should have been attacking me because essentially because then A, you can survive longer, and B, also I wanted to take a hit on this turn.
Okay. That's fine. I took it because I had the 1 armor, but yeah.
Yeah, would have in terms of hit points it would have made sense, but I need it because right now I want to sprint for the gate, which is a movement of 2.
Yep.
On this turn, which brings me on the map tile of the worm, and then I can use my retribution now, which attack 4 now against the worm.
Attack 4 on the worm. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, and that worm isn't going to attack you because it's only interested in the gate. So.
Yep, exactly.
Right. Okay.
Okay. That's enemy turns now.
It's quite tense. So, enemy turn.
Yep.
We have the cave worm.
Mm-hmm.
It does 2 on the gate. The gate is down to 6.
Mm-hmm.
It then bleeds for 1.
Yes.
Then we have the Kobold Trapper that destroys our other trap.
Mm-hmm. And doesn't attack 1 against you.
Does an attack 1 on me, which I don't take because I've got 1 armor.
Mm-hmm.
Then the only other enemy left is the boss, which does claws. So attack 3 with pierce. So I go down to 2. Now, even though I've got pierce, my armor is nullified. I still have the retaliate. Is that right?
Correct.
So it takes the 1 from the retaliate. Then it's got rush 1. So after it's done the attack, it moves to there, and then it's going to bleed for 2. So it's down to 21.
Yeah. Right, and it has target anything, so it would actually even destroy the trap on your map tile, which doesn't really matter in this case, but just.
Oh right, yes, because it's all targets.
So.
Right, all targets targeting anything. Right, got it.
So if you were on the next turn, if you were on the same map tile and the Kobold Trapper would activate, you wouldn't suffer damage from the trap. But
right,
probably going to leave that. But if you don't,
okay.
Yeah.
So traps do nothing.
Yep.
So it's our go.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a ranged attack this time?
I do. I have barbed arrow.
Okay.
Attack 3, range 2. So I could get the cave worm down to 1.
Yeah. That would be good because then I could kill it.
Okay. So I will move 1 with armor 1, and then barbed arrow for attack 3. 1, 2, 3.
How much hit points do you have left?
I have 2.
Okay, sounds good. So the caveman has 1 hit point. So I will do the throw flask, which is an attack 1 against it, and then I will heal. You for 1.
So I'm up to
and then
3.
I will do the bow shot against the boss.
Yep.
I think. Or should I go against the trapper now? I will go for the boss now. 2 against the boss.
So it's down to 19.
Ah. Okay. Enemy turns.
Yeah, enemy turns. So the trapper, no damage at the start of the turn, but then it moves to here because there's no more traps where it is.
Yes.
And am I right in thinking that once all of the traps have gone, it's got nothing else to do?
Well, it will go towards every enemy will always move towards the gate, and on the
Right.
gate it would always attack the gate. So at that point, it will just start attacking the gate.
Oh, so the gate is always a final priority thing.
Yeah, you always do the preferred target check, and if that is unsuccessful, the second thing you do before moving would be the gate check.
gate.
So if they can attack the gate instead, they would just do that instead.
Got it. Okay. And now the boss. So the boss is feeding, so attack 2. And if this deals damage, it heals 3.
Mm-hmm.
That's unfortunate. So it hits me for 1,
Mm-hmm.
but it heals for 3.
Yeah.
And then it rushes 2, but it only needs to rush 1 because it's now on the gate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so big final battle with the boss on the gate, very cinematic. Except there's a kobold trapper just wandering around in the background, dismantling the traps just for fun.
Yeah.
Speaking of the traps, trap does nothing because the kobold trap is immune, and it's our go.
Mm-hmm.
We just need to hit it and not die.
Yeah. So for me, that's pretty simple. I will do move 1, which does nothing.
Yep.
And then I will do my retribution, which is an attack of 4 against the boss.
Yeah. So puts it down to 18. I don't know if I bled it on the last turn. I don't think I did.
Okay, yeah, then that's 2 more damage.
I think I forgot to bleed it on the last turn. Apologies for anybody watching if I did bleed it, but I think I forgot. So I could rush in and hit it, knowing that next turn all it's doing is it's terrifying roar.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to get hit by it from next turn. But yes, Corazon puts another bleed on it. So yeah. Oh, except I can't move. Rats. I can't move, and I can't attack at range. So never mind. Armor 1, retaliate 1, heal 2. I'll get there. I'll be back.
Okay.
Just next round. Just give me I just need a breather. I'm gonna have just a bit of a cup of tea and a rest, and then I'll be there. I'll be there shortly.
Yeah, the support character will handle the situation there. No worries.
So yeah, I think we're done for our turns.
Yeah.
So enemy's turn. It's the boss first because it's on the gate. So it moves to here. We both take an exhaust, but we've already got 2 exhausts, so we can't do anything. The gate goes down to 5 health.
Ouch.
And then this trapper destroys the last trap.
Oh. And then the boss suffers bleed.
And then the boss suffers 3 bleed, 1, 2, 3, and he's now down to 13. Right.
Okay.
So, our turn. Corazon puts another bleed on it. I can now move in with armor 1 and hit it for 3. So,
okay, that's good.
1, 2. So it's on 10.
Excellent.
Yeah, we got this sorted.
I will go with the throw flask, attack 1 against the boss, and heal. Well, you've got how many hit points do you have?
I'm on 4.
I will heal you for 1.
Okay. Oh, because you want your retribution.
I will use my bow shot against the boss, which will hit it for another 2.
Another 2. Okay. Yep, that's it. I think we're done. Except I think I forgot to move in. I did forget to move in. Enemy's turn. So it does rush 2, but it doesn't need to move, and then it's attack 2, and it's on Corazon. That's still his primary target. Is that right? Yeah, I think so.
It should be, yes.
Yep. And then the kobold trapper moves to come and say hello and find out what all of this commotion is going on.
Yeah. Did you bleed the boss?
I didn't.
4 actually.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So our go. Do you want to do your retribution and kill it?
Actually, I'm going to do something. You can take care of the boss. I'm actually going to do advance, which does nothing, and then I'm going to do retribution, which is attack 5. No, it's attack 4. It doesn't kill the kobold trapper. Then it's not that interesting actually.
Yeah.
I thought I could one hit it, but then I just retribute against the boss, and then you can kill the trapper.
So you retribute against the boss, which kills it, and then I do a quick slash followed by a barbed arrow, which kills the kobold trapper.
All right, nice.
Right. So, what do we do next? I don't know.
We go to the quest board, which tells us to read the epilogue, so we can go to the epilogue section.
Right. So the epilogue. If you have found Coruscant and he's still alive, read epilogue 1. So we've actually got 3 different epilogues, depending on what actually happens with the story. But I think we've got the good ending because we found him. I mean, what's interesting here? Quick question. It says, if you have not yet found him, how can you get to the end of this scenario and not have found him?
It's possible.
Wow.
I'm not going to spoil that too much, but it is definitely possible.
It is possible. Okay, so we found him and he is still alive. So epilogue 1. With the demons slain, you head back to Coruscant, who is standing at the dungeon entrance. Drengir, there are hard times ahead of you. Oster has shared your visions with me, and they are of great concern. As you may know, Findal, the world tree, connects all 3 planes, the plane of the gods, the plane of the living, and the plane of demons. Its roots are barriers, sealing the entry between our world and that of the demons. But centuries ago, Isil, the fallen goddess, burned many of these roots, allowing her followers, the demons, to enter our world. She sent forth her greatest general, Yarsthorna the Blood Wolf, to command her hordes and bring destruction on us all. Countless of our kin died and humankind barely survived. Only thanks to the leadership and sacrifice of Tarik, the great Jarl, were we able to defeat her. But Tarik paid with his life, and countless of our fallen paid the ultimate sacrifice when our blood wardens wove their souls into the seals that protect these dungeons to this day, keeping the demons within. You may wonder, young one, or maybe you have already foreseen this, but your visions are laying out a path to our future. Dark forces are at work, trying to bring back the Blood Wolf. The signs are clear, and I have Osther's whispers of the last awakening. The blood of Tarik, the great Jarl who defeated Yarsthorna, is with you, Drengir, and the fallen beast hungers for it. But it is also the key to our future, and it is intertwined with your fate. It could be the key to both, saving us or dooming us all and bringing back the Blood Wolf. I will stay here and make sure the demons are gone for good, but you must venture home. Here, take this scroll. It contains some clues I have gathered that can lead you to finding the tomb of Tarik, where you may be able to uncover more on preventing the return of the Blood Wolf. And take this dagger and use it only in a time of grave danger. He hands you a ritual dagger adorned with runic symbols. Looks like destiny is challenging you, young Drengir. Let's see to it that this Blood Wolf remains where she belongs. You can count on my sword. Looking around, you see Arn giving you nod and Ennick making an attempt at an encouraging smile. Whatever lies ahead, your friends will be with you on our journey. So, we would need to mark decision number 2 on our party sheet. We have unlocked unique item 2, which I'm not going to show today because of spoilers. And we will unlock chapter 4 and chapter 13. So does that mean that we could choose to do 4 or 13 next, or must we still do 4?
No, we could choose. Well, we would need to do chapter 4 eventually. Chapter 13 would be an optional chapter.
Oh, right.
There's side chapters we don't have to play for the storyline, but which may be relevant in terms of some extra stories.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then move your marker 1 step towards Isil on the fate scale. So that was what you were mentioning earlier on. Because we succeeded in that, this would actually move that way, which would mean would that mean that the next one is harder?
Yes, because we are now on the side of Isil, on the scale side of Isil, the fallen goddess. So she would curse our dungeon because now her gaze is upon us. So we would start with curse tokens in our dungeon, which make the game harder.
Okay. And then we also unlock laws 3, 5, and 6. So again, we would mark 3, 5, and 6 on here. And then we could read them in the book, and that would be that. I think we're done. I'm glad we played the full chapter, because the fights escalated in terms of how difficult they were, because there were simply more enemies on the board. But just these few extra skills that you get during the game, and just these few extra bits of items, and the traps as well. It actually felt that the second battle and the third battle were a little easier. But I think the start of the first battle was horrendous, because the assassin appeared, and suddenly within one round, we're both down to like 1 or 2 health. But yeah, we brought it back. So Cool.
Yeah.
Now, we've seen today chapter 3. So we've seen a whole bunch of these enemies, and I'm pretty sure we saw most of the enemies for chapter 3. There were some enemies which I took out at the start during setup, because those enemies are not used in chapter 3, but they will be used in chapters 1 and 2. How many of these enemies are there in the full game?
Around about 40 of the basic
40.
enemies.
Right. Okay. So you will. So this is very much kobolds, cave worms, and things like that. But the other chapters will contain a different flavor of enemies.
Yeah, like there will be some changes of scenery in this world and things. And so yes, there will be different things appearing later on.
Right. Cool. And in terms of the playable characters, 4 playable characters at the moment.
4 playable characters, or with the expansion you get 2 extra characters. There's something else in the box that I don't want to spoil right now.
Okay.
So there will be secrets in the box, so I will put a star to that. Also, each character also has an advanced class, which you can see on the other side.
On the other side, yes. And how do you unlock them?
Those will be unlocked as part of the story. As you progress the narrative, things will happen as the characters become more experienced and find their way in that world, and things will happen that unlock new classes for them. And these advanced classes are actually give you the opportunity to play the same character, but in a different class with a different play style, which is still a bit similar maybe to the previous one, but which has a very different feel in terms of mechanics to some aspects, because you may be getting extra resources that you need to manage as part of your tableau or other things.
Right, excellent. Was there anything else that you wanted to mention about the game just before we wrap this video up today?
I think as we played through the whole thing, I think those are the main things.
Yeah.
Part of this.
Yeah, I think this video has shown people, because you've obviously got other people doing video content as well. This was a full playthrough of one of the chapters. With a 2-player playthrough. So obviously the different videos that will be out there for this game will show off different aspects of this game. We've done a full playthrough today for you, so you can see how the game plays out. We didn't go into these, so we've got these locked and removed tier 1 events.
Yeah, if you want to, we can do a minor spoiler at this point, and if you look through the tier 2 events and just look for a card containing a bear, for example, not this one, but the regular tier 2 events, then I can just show you how this works.
Oh, the regular tier 2 events, right? Okay, yep.
The tier 2 events, and if you look at those and look for a bear one, there's the bear cup, for example, and that's a spawn of that's a bear of Bjornjarl. So one of the bears are the children of the god of battle. And this is a quest where you need to protect that one. And if you're able to protect it until the end of a combat wave, so it would take all damage that you take, then you would switch that card out and you would instead take another card from the locked deck. So we can spoiler, maybe we can spoiler that one card.
No, I'll keep that one secret. But that's where those cards come in. They are...
Exactly. This one would actually cause something. If you successfully complete that, it won't give you anything immediately, but you will get a reward in terms of your events deck will evolve as you play the campaign.
Right.
So this one thing where you can see that. And there's multiple cards like this in there.
Right.
That can happen.
Yeah. So the physical components here are... The artwork looks to be done. Am I right in thinking that it is completely done?
For that, pretty much, yes.
Yep.
There are some bosses artworks for the final chapters that I'm still designing. Where
Right.
There was some artwork coming, but everything that you currently see here, pretty much done. I think I may alter the map tiles also to make them slightly brighter.
Okay.
But for the most part, it's pretty much the way it will be in the final product.
Yeah. And are you envisaging any changes to the rules between now and when the game comes out in any final play testing you've done, or is this pretty much it?
No, this is pretty much it. The only thing that I mentioned in the beginning would be like a true solo mode as a variant, so people can play that if they want to.
Right. Yeah. Excellent. And this video is going to be going live at the day of the Kickstarter, which is next Monday, the 14th of August.
Yes.
So, yeah, excellent. We're all done. I just got to say thank you very much for giving up your time. I went in today knowing not much about the game, other than the combat was deterministic and had a puzzle element to it. And as you probably know, Mage Knight is one of my favourite games, and the combat in that is very much a puzzle. But in this, you've also got the moving around. You've got the sort of the location aspect to take into account. with movement and range and everything else. And when you started explaining it at the start and said, when we were exploring, we don't actually move our miniatures around when we're exploring, I thought, well, what are the miniatures for then? But suddenly when you go into the combat, it was like, right. And this all makes sense now. So from a personal point of view, I love the way the combat works because it is deterministic. It is a bit of a puzzle, and you can work it out. And it was still tense and it was still exciting because you had to work out exactly how to do that. And there were certain times where you were like, you need to take the damage for that because otherwise that next one is going to kill me. And it's that thinking through the process of how the different enemies are going to work, and the different enemies had different abilities as well. So I found it interesting that some of the enemies would attack the traps, some of the enemies would ignore them and just go for the gate. The ones that have got evasion, the ones that are immune to traps. You said that there's 40 enemies included in the game. We only saw a few of them today, but the way that they worked was really interesting. So lots more to explore later on. I'm just looking through the list of keywords to see. So we had quite a few of these actually. We came across Horde, we came across Pierce, we came across Retaliate. There was a couple on here that we didn't come across, but yeah, we got through most of them.
Yeah.
Oh, I need to lie down after that. That was good. Right. Well, we'll wrap things up. So yes, thank you very much, Ica, for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed playing through it with me. You've probably played it many times before, but thank you for that.
It's always fun because it's always a different puzzle, and like I can't, even though I've played it many times, because the enemies are always different and so on. It's always interesting to see like how it turns out. So
yeah,
it was really fun.
Yeah, cool. And for those people watching, the reason I create these videos is to give you an idea of how the game plays, so that help you make a decision about whether you want to back the game. This is a sponsored video. I have been paid to create this video today, but I like creating these because, as I say, I want you, as a prospective backer of the game, to see how the game plays out so that you've got as much information as you can to help you make a decision. And I'd like to know if this video has helped influence you one way or the other into either backing the game or not backing the game. Leave me a comment and let me know why. And I just wanted to also say a big thank you to all of my Patreon supporters for funding the channel. And if you like the content that I create and you want to support the channel directly, you can do so at patreon.com/gaming rules. Other than that, I'll disappear now. Thank you very much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.